You know that you have won against a narcissist while mirroring them when you have clowned them into silence. Remember, a narcissist is always going to come at you and try and trigger your emotional reactivity. They need you to regulate them. You understand your narc. You understand their lies, their fears, their insecurities, especially if you've been in a relationship with them because you tried to heal them. What you want to do is circumvent that fragile ego, that false self, the fake face they put up. You want to circumvent that. You want to drop kick them right in their broken inner child, the thing they're avoiding healing by hurting other people. When you have successfully clowned them, collected that evidence, use memes, use videos, expose them in public, you know that you have won against that demon. When they are running, when they're ghosting you, running away like a little evil clown crying, escaping the burning circus that you have burnt down. Is that narcissistic sociopath going to have a better relationship with the next supply? And no, you remember what they did to you. They gaslit you. They didn't take any accountability. They acted like grown children. They cheated constantly. They ran around. They lied. They smeared about you. They talked about you from the rip. How many times did you find out after the fact that they were talking trash about you to other people behind your back? All right, they gathered your enemies and tried to come at you because they needed to facilitate their warped worldview to sustain their broken inner child because they are emotionally stunted. They did not develop. They did not become adults. They are big kids with bodies going around spreading STDs. This is what that hoovering hobgoblin is. So when you have to ask yourself, they look so happy with that next supply. No, that next supply is about to go through a worse hell than you did, because remember, as a narcissist ages, that evil inside begins to manifest. You're going to see that bloated, scabby, nasty hoe. Don't worry about it. How to know if you're dealing with a narcissist? They're never to blame for anything. At first, they seem perfect. They're always having fun with you and having a great time. But eventually, something's your fault. They will create a problem just to create a fight, just to head out. They will leave you and ghost you when you need them the most. And again, they ain't to blame for nothing. If there's a dude, he will gaslight you, lie to you, blame everything on you, and hit you just so he can go out and have a midlight interlude with another dude. If it's a chick, she will definitely have nothing but dude friends. Most of them went out with her. Some of them never did. But all of them spend time with her, and they're all special to her in some way, shape, or form. That person always expects you to be there in the worst of times whenever they need you, but they will never be there when you need them. They won't take any accountability. They will revise any event in history to make sure it's your fault and not theirs. Trust and believe. That's a narcissist. Run away.
Listen to the wind blow.
And unmute. Why am I blue? Oh, there it goes. Breaking the trauma bond, knowing your worth, getting past a toxic relationship, a narcissistic relationship, or a relationship where someone gaslit, manipulated, triangulated, just destroyed your character, attempted to strip you of who you were, strip you of your characteristics, use the best qualities in you against yourself. It's difficult if it's in the short term or the long term. And for anyone that has been through it over years, I mean, constant manipulation, constantly breaking you down, throwing you out, destroying your life, turning around and blaming everything on you, no matter what they've done, no matter how they have been to you. Anyone that uses the secrets that you have inside, the deep-seated things in you that you shared with a significant other, who then takes those things and uses them to beat you over the head, to laugh at you. If a person has to gather others in order to smear you over them stabbing you, that's a narcissist. If a person doesn't take any accountability, if they are like grown children, perpetually a teenager, a child, emotionally, no emotional maturity or intelligence, and all they know how to do is break down somebody else in order to facilitate their lies about you, to avoid accountability, you're dealing with a narcissist. You're dealing with, at best, a narcissistic personality. Sociopaths will do this. Psychopaths will do this to the extreme. Narcissists know what they are doing. They know. Now, that's the difference between all the cluster Bs. You're a borderline. You can fix yourself. You can go and you can get yourself help. Sociopaths can get themselves help. I've seen it. I've seen sociopathic people get help. Psychopaths aren't always evil, by the way. Most psychopaths don't even go out. They're not like they are in the movies. They don't go out murdering people. And they can even know. But a narcissist is a special type of destructive, evil person because they know better. They know better. They know that they're lying. They know that they are creating a fantasy when they love bomb you, when they ghost you, when they devalue you, when they start their smear campaigns. They know they're lying. And unless we bring back dueling, unless we take it back to the old world where you could just smash these people out of existence, the only thing that you can do is go no contact because they look forward to the fuel. They look forward to the fight. They look forward to the drama. This is how they live. They're perpetual children. And the only thing you could do, really, except for bring back dueling, is go no contact. Because if you hold them accountable for anything that they do, they're going to attack you even further. If you hold them accountable for what they have done, not only are they going to deflect, they're going to deny what they've done. They're going to destroy you in any way that they can, lie about you, gather other flying monkeys, toxic people who know they're lying too. They're all just toxic people who will co-sign to the narrative as long as it destroys the target of their abuse. They will take your secrets, the things that you divulge to them, the things you say to them, that you gave over, that you admitted, that you confided in to that partner, and they will use those things against you. They will try to turn you into them. And the longer you're wrapped in that trauma bond, the longer you're dealing with that craziness, the higher a probability it is that you actually become like them. That you will begin your own smear campaigns, that you will go after them mercilessly, but they love it and they want it. They want it. That's the most insidious thing about a narcissist. And the only thing you can really look forward to, if you're looking forward to anything after dealing with one of these weasels, is when they hit the wall. Because you can't be an evil person who lives in cycles of destruction. You can't be a person who lives off of others, an emotional vampire. You can't be that and not hit the wall and not eventually fall apart and not have that evil come out and show itself, manifest itself physically. But even then, you're dealing with a narc on the downside after they hit the wall. You're dealing with a narc after middle age, at the end of middle age.
when the devil's not blessing them with those good looks anymore, then they become even worse. Then the lies and the manipulation become even worse. Depending on how long you have been involved with a manipulative, deceitful, untrustworthy coward of a liar, the more of a chance you have to become like them. Healing the trauma bond is a hell of a lot more than just breaking up with somebody, because they stalk you. They look at your social media. They create fake accounts. They gather your enemies. They do whatever they can do to maintain control over their object thing. They do whatever that they can do to continue to inflict pressure and pain and trauma upon somebody. This is something that normies don't understand. People who have never been through narcissistic abuse do not understand this. It is not simply a matter of cutting them off. It is not simply a matter of walking away, because they are stalking you. They are coming at you. They are trying to destroy you in every way, shape, and form, especially if you are not giving them supply. These are evil people, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know they are wrong. They are lying. They are manipulative. They are cheap. They know what they are. And that is the most disgusting and disturbing part of dealing with these hoovering hobgoblins. They know they're shit people. They want everyone else to be shit. They want everyone else to be just like them, because their unresolved issues, because of their unresolved pain, because they are pieces of shit that will never heal themselves. They want to spread that pain. They want to distort reality. They want to drive you crazy. They will stalk and harass and come after you, your job, your friends, your reputation, whatever it may be. This is what these goblins do. Anybody who says that narcissists, there's a small percentage of narcissists in this country, does not understand the narcissistic culture that has been created in the West. A culture that supports the idea of women having high body counts, that supports the idea that men are to blame for everything. Good men are to blame for everything. A society that rewards bad behavior. Go on social media and post out how much of a whore you are, and you get hand clapped for it. Not shamed, hand clapped for it. You go out and you shame another person. You go out, you destroy another person's reputation. You attack them. You get rewarded for it. That is the culture, the narcissistic culture that has been created in the West. There is a terrible rise in narcissistic behavior, and narcissists are a hell of a lot more common than you would think, because these despicable behaviors are rewarded. That bad boy that beats his girlfriend up, that bad boy that cheats and acts like an asshole, that bad boy that controls his fucking women, he's rewarded. He gets rewarded. That chick that goes out there and waves her tits around and destroys men and just clowns men and just completely annihilates a man using every secret that she has ever learned about them, she's rewarded for that behavior. Good people have to sit in silence, controlling themselves, and just concentrate on them, while the world at large rewards narcissistic behavior. Breaking a trauma bond is not that simple. When you go through an experience with a manipulative liar who targets you for harassment, who constantly uses every tool available, every despicable angle available to attack, harass, and coerce others to believe their lies, it is not just a simple thing to walk away. You have to deal with the CPTSD. You have to question whether or not every person that you encounter is going to harm you, because you gave yourself over, your heart, your belief, everything, your spirit, to a person who intentionally sought out to destroy you in every way they could for the enjoyment of it. These perpetual children, these goblins. And the world at large, the West, hand claps, golf claps, encourages that behavior for the sake of the drama, for the entertainment of it. Healing from narcissistic abuse is not as simple as going no contact and walking away. It is not that simple, because real people with real hearts who give themselves over to others have to learn their boundaries. They have to understand their worth. They have to ignore the noise. They have to ignore the hoovers and the constant harassment. They have to ignore all of the flying monkeys and all of the toxic people who get involved and jump and dogpile in on destroying a person who has already been abused, because our narcissistic West encourages that behavior. Now, there are times when narcissists get what's coming to them. I'm watching one very high profile narcissist out there bleeding subs 1,000 at a time. Thank God. But it's not always the case. If they're covert, they're moving stealthily, destroying life after life after life. The strength that it takes to come back when you have to deal with flashbacks, when you have to deal with PTSD, nightmares, when you have to question every single person that comes into your life as to whether or not they are going to seek out and destroy you. The ability to discern who it is you can give yourself over to, who you can trust, these are courageous leaps that take immense self-improvement, self-understanding. And there are positives to take away from this, brothers and sisters. There are absolutely positives that you could take away. It should, because there was reasons you were susceptible to that narc in the first place. You may find out you had a narcissistic parent. You didn't even know what narcissism was. You may find out that the people that brought you up, the people that groomed you to deal with this abuse, the ones who were supposed to be the people who taught you what healthy love was, taught you how to be devalued and take it, how to be codependent, how to look at someone who abuses you, ghosts you, beats you, destroys you, devalues you, pushes you away, ignores you, cheats on you, destroys your character, how someone in your early life taught you to appreciate that, taught you to think that that was love. Ladies, gentlemen, someone abusing you and then you saying, I love you, is not healthy. If a man is cheating and beating on you, and you say, I love you to that, that's not love. Gentlemen, if a lady does not respect you for the king that you are, does not respect what you bring to the table, and then you say, I love you, that's disrespect to yourself. Breaking the trauma bond takes a long time. And the more you interact with that narc, the longer it's going to take you to heal. You can come far. You can heal far, my brothers and sisters. You can get to a point where you begin feeling your worth and working in the right direction and doing the things that you need to do. But if you let that narc through that door, if you answer that text, if you answer that call, if you give in to a single thing that narc is selling, then that con artist wins. And you have to start again from ground zero. You have to start again from step one, all over. And you're going to have to deal with the sleepless nights, and you're going to have to deal with questioning yourself and thinking you're never going to find love again, or you're never going to be able to trust anybody again. All over. Perpetual trauma, perpetual over and over again trauma. And that is bullshit. You disrespect yourself when you chase someone like that. At some point, you have to say no more. You got to put your foot down and say no more. I'm not playing this game. There is no way, shape, or form that I will play a game in which a person continually comes into your life to destroy you, comes in and says one thing, and their actions dictate an entirely different thing. When that narcissist comes over and says, I do love you, they don't love you. They don't even know what love is. To them, love is drama and trauma. To them, love is being used and abused and passing that pain on. And there's no excuse for it. Narcs know what they're doing. That is what makes narcissists, out of all the cluster B disorders, the absolute worst. Because they're sleazy, they're low lives. They'll bow down and beg down when a real narc comes through, when the psychopath comes through. When it comes to the food chain, they will bow down and beg down when a sociopath comes through. And depending on how bad that borderline is, but when it comes to narcs, they're the worst. They're the scummiest. They're the lowlives. They're the users. They're the vampires. They're the ones that will feed off of other people, no matter what type of narc they are. They will feed off the carcass of another person that they have slowly destroyed without rhyme or reason or care, and continue to be an abusive piece of trash and hunt you for it. God forbid you even call them out. God forbid you even tell them about themselves, or you go out in public and you tell them who they are, because then you got a mark on you. Then they got a vendetta against you. Then they're going to hunt you down. God forbid you tell that piece of trash or to anybody else, or warn any other person who may be susceptible to that liar's manipulations, what that person is, because then they're going to hunt you. They got a vendetta. God forbid you expose them liars. People who have been through a regular, I mean, it's a shame to even say this. You've been through a regular ass toxic relationship, a regular ass toxic person. You don't understand. You can cut a toxic person off. You can just cut them out. They'll go find toxicity someplace else. When you're dealing with a narcissistic person, a narcissist, they will hunt you down. They will never take accountability for what they've done. They will always make an excuse, have an excuse, and they will always gravitate, because your narcissist is your trash collector. They will always gather around them other lying, manipulative, low-life pieces of shit who will co-sign to their narrative and play that shit out on a megaphone if they have to, for the enjoyment of causing stress, pain, and continuing trauma. You are who you surround yourself with. Make a note whenever you see a narc and who co-signs to their shit, because they are who they surround themselves with. Waking up every day and having to figure yourself out, having to fight the past, having to fight the trauma and the triggers that were put into you unjustly by a person who did so with intent, is not a fun ride. Know your worth, know yourself, heal your trauma. What is it that made you susceptible to that con artist's manipulations? What is it in you that created the idea that being abused was love, that being used, that going through a cycle of abuse over and over again is actually love? Because it's not. In no way, shape, or form is that love. That is a person who hates themselves and therefore hates you. Healing is understand what happened in your early life, what happened in your mind that allowed you to keep running back. Time and time again, I'm talking to abuse victims because I'm working on my coaching skills now. And time again, I'm talking to people who have been through it. And I'm not casting dispersions or pointing fingers, because I've been through this myself. I've been like this myself. But time and time again, I hear people going, oh, I just want to see it one more time. Oh, I just need to apologize for this one more time. Oh, I just need to explain this one. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. There is no explaining. There is no apologizing. There is no nothing. There is no magical combination that is going to unlock this elusive chest that you have manifested in your mind inside that person that's going to wake them up into being a good person. That does not exist. You can only control yourself, just like they can only control themselves, and they choose to be garbage. They choose to be liars. They choose to be cheaters. They choose to destroy people. That is what they choose to do. And you need to choose to go no contact. You need to choose to prioritize yourself and love yourself. Because that's all you can do. That's all you could do, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to go through, say hail to chat here in a moment. Stevie picked up some rum. Been drinking the last couple days. To be honest with you, look, hey, I don't really advocate drinking all that much. If you need to drink, drink. But whoo, boy. Last couple days has been rough. I'm on no contact, day 18. Proud of myself. And I know I'll be done counting these days when I'm done counting these days. My brothers and sisters, you have to remember your worth. I was actually watching a live stream. Michelle's, oh, God help me. It's when Michelle's Secret. She's a narc abuse coach I've been watching since the beginning. We're gonna showcase her at some point in the future. And to see another narc abuse coach and hear what she's saying, talk about knowing your worth, and the way that she reacted to certain people who came through and said, oh, I just need to see him or see her one more time, and to see her saying, you need help. I was happy to see it. God bless her. And seeing a person live talking about this and understanding it, you can tell, brothers and sisters, you can tell when somebody's been through it like we have. You can see it you in the way that they talk and their reaction and the way that they speak. You know that person has been through it with a hoovering hobgoblin, a petri dish of STDs, all right? A representative of Satan's taint. You know they've been through it with one of these people. And I'm watching her, and I was just so thankful for her. So thankful for all and everybody. Thanking every person who's been here. Please smash the like button, share out the link. We're going to get into recovering trauma bonds. We're going to get into talking about these things. We're going to talk about what it takes today to know your worth. I know my brothers and sisters out there are going to be able to speak on this. We're going to be moving Dragonstorm to Spotify here soon and Rumble. Just started streaming on Twitter, X, whatever it's called now. We're taking this game to the next level. Because I don't want a single person out there to not have a support system when dealing with one of these fake fucks, these destructive liars. I'm going to be out here fighting a good fight with y'all. Let's go to the chat. Oh, man, look at Angel out here. What's up, Angel? Mike, Jeff, Lizzie, Sergeant Pepper, all my fucking homies around here. Immortal Coil, hail brother. Lady Virgo, good to see you. And y'all been talking it up, haven't you? All right, I got to go up to the top of I know I was going off. Bam! What's up, y'all? How you doing? When I'm preaching, I like to be off camera. All right, let's see. The wise Papa Cotton is in the house. Hail, Papa. Good to see you. What is up, MC Mike Does, my brother? How are you? I love seeing my brothers in the chat. You know, my brother, y'all mean so much to me. It takes a lot for a man. Y'all, and all y'all men know what I mean. Jeff, all y'all know what I mean. It takes a lot for a man to admit that we've been through an abusive situation. Because we're supposed to just suck it up, right? This doesn't happen to us. We don't get used by women, right? We just push it on and keep it moving. We're the bad guys. We're always the bad guys. Fourth wave feminist, toxic ass, narcissistic world, right? I'm sipping on some rum today. Sergeant Pepper's in the house. The hair of Dragonstorm. How are you, Sergeant Pepper? Hail, sister. Hail to all my international audience from across the pond. Good to see you. Nikki Red. We suffer no fools. That's right, Nikki Red. I'm gonna get some more clips. Next time you come through, I'm gonna have some Madeline Kahn for you, I promise.
When you have a bad day, give up. Go home and sleep. Fuck it. Try again tomorrow. Not every bad day can become a good day. Some days are fucked and cannot be unfucked. When you have a day that is fucked beyond repair, that is the universe speaking to you, sending you a message. Listen to the universe. Go home.
Go home. What's up, Nikki? It's good to see you, sister. Hell. Let me see. All right. Jillian is in the house. What is up, Jillian? How are you, sweetheart? You got to get on X. I want to bring you into the Dragonstorm core. We got talking we need to do. Mortal Coil speaks very highly of you. He says that y'all have been corresponding. And I trust what my brother says. So I'm going to bring you in. You too, Angel. What's up, baby? Thank you for all the texts. Thank you for all the positivity that you send me. It means so much. If y'all don't know, a lot of y'all have been here with Dragonstorm since the beginning. Angel's been here since the beginning. And I appreciate you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. My love to you, honey. One day we're going to get together. I'm going to let you make that dinner for me you've always been promised. When the train wreck express is coming through, choo choo, it is heading into your area, sweetheart. Dr. Pepper says they hack your devices, they're data miners. Oh yeah, all the time. So one of the dispersions that NarcX would always send at me was, "Are you on my phone? Are you on my computer?" Like, and she actually was she's a somatic narcissist. She's not a cerebral narcissist. So there was this one time we were looking through her laptop and she had a file with a whole bunch of person B stuff in there and my stuff in there, and was trying to convince me that the code was hacked into by person B. I'm just like, and one of her narc friends was in the room. You will notice that people, like toxic people, gather other toxic people around them. It was insane to me. But they will absolutely, narcissists will use anything to their availability to control you. They will get into your phone. They will hack your phone, clone it, whatever they got to do in order to make sure they know where you're at and who you're talking to. Because the last thing a narcissist wants is for anyone to have any influence over their thing, to have any control over their person, over the person that they're abusing. You're absolutely right. Mike Dodd says, "You are an adult looking for a future, not a past or present prison sentence." Hail, brother. Hail, brother. Sergeant Pepper says, "They know, but they lie and rewrite history all the time. All the time. They completely rewrite history." Smear campaign done on NarcX's channel talking about, "He hit me because he loves me. He hit me because he was knocking sense into me." What are you? What? Excuse me. You're narcissistic, borderline. Your ass needs to go to therapy. What's wrong with you? Riffraff. Yeah, you saw Riffraff from Rocky Horror. I need some Rocky Horror plugs that clips up in here. But I wouldn't know which ones to use. You know what I mean? This realm is run by narcs. Well, the realm, and as far as the Illuminati, Hollywood, politicians, narcissists enjoy positions of power so that they can use that power and influence in order to subjugate and destroy, to make people capitulate to their abuse. So yes, absolutely. This, like I said, the West is a narcissistic. I mean, Michelle Secret was talking about that last night. Right? This is a narcissistic culture that we live in. It promotes narcissism. Narcissists run the world. Empaths can change it, and that's what we're doing. And we will. The age of Aquarius is right around the corner. We are at a very important time in history. And I ask y'all, brothers and sisters out there, no matter what your faith may be, allow the spiritual bridge to happen between different faiths, different ways of seeing things, because we are all children of God. Allow that bridge to take place, because all of us together, don't let spiritual narcissists, don't let classism, don't let any of these things keep us divided. I don't care what the left, the right, the whoever is trying to peddle. Do not let them keep us separate, because they are all run by the top 13 families, by the Illuminati, the narcissists who are out there graping kids. Run the world, not your house or your life. That's right. That's absolutely right. As individuals, we need to be strong. Individuals, work on yourself, lead by example. I tell that to the people that I'm coaching right now. You have to understand that you are an example for your children. You are an example for others around you. Do not better yourself for them necessarily, unless you're talking about children. Do not better yourself for them necessarily. Better yourself because it's a healthy thing to do, to be a better person. I'm sorry, for some reason my nose is itching. I promise I ain't been doing no speed. Pack mental firearm every time you walk out of your house. Absolutely. Keep those boundaries strong. Keep them tight, brothers. MC Mike is out here spitting some truth. Yes, be prepared and understand, but also use discernment. My empaths out there, if any of y'all are empaths in the house, you know how difficult it is to shut out all the noise. Do some exercises. Use your, meditation. Carry some stones with you. Anything that will help you to reinforce your shielding, because you're gonna just soak up other energies. It's a part of being an empath. You're gonna soak up the energies around you. Have discernment, and also understand that not every person out there is a horrible person trying to break you down. If you're first breaking the trauma bond, yes. When you're first breaking a trauma bond, keep your boundaries strong, cut people out. If you have any question whatsoever as to who those people are, cut them out for the time being. You will be able, when you regulate your system, when you have gotten over the ups and downs, the highs and the lows of going through trauma, you will be able to discern who is good and who is not. And they're just going to have to understand you're creating boundaries. You're shutting yourself down. All right. Because you got to work on yourself first. You cannot love anyone unless you love yourself. You cannot help anyone unless you're helping yourself. Leading by example is working on you, being a better person for you. Understand your worth. Know your worth. Cut people out. I have cut a lot of people out. And going through what we have, you understand the red flags and you understand toxic behaviors, emotionally unregulated behaviors. There's a cat that I was talking to for years that I thought was one of my homies. Just this week, I had to block him. He tried to shame me in public, talk down to me in public. I spoke to him in private, and he was completely offended that I wanted to have a personal conversation with him outside of the public eye, and then began about threatening me. Cut out. You're a narcissist. You are a narcissistic personality. You are a controlling, manipulative personality. I'm done with you. You understand who these people are. You stop being so giving. My empaths, learn how to control it. What's up? NPD in the United States is at least 30% now. Oh, easily. And not only this, Sergeant Pepper, but I was talking about it being a part of the Western culture. It is supported. Being narcissistic is entirely supported. There are loads and loads of toxic, hurt people out there who want to spread pain, who want to support warped worldviews against good people. Hail my brothers out there, Eric July and Gary Nerdrotic. Hail my brothers at Geeks and Gamers who are dealing with swaths of toxic people coming after them right now, who can do anything to say, mean, destroy anything that they want regarding those people. But as soon as they clap back, they're the enemy. As soon as they clap back, as soon as they create boundaries and defend themselves, they're the problem. No. It's the toxic people that are supporting Comicsgate and that ilk that are the problem. I don't know what's high, 98% there, Mike. He says the other 68 are ignorant. Well, there's a lot of ignorance regarding narcissistic abuse because it's an insidious manipulation by its very nature. And the way that they act is to blame the people that they, oh, see headphones out. The way that they act is to blame the people that they destroy, that they go after. So the dispersion of reality that takes place when you're dealing with a narc makes it difficult to discern who is who and what is what. Sergeant Pepper says the malignant coverts are the worst. Yeah, they're the worst. Anything that involves psychopathy. Anything that involves when I was in my Mirror of the Narc stage, I said, learn psychopathy because psychopaths are the top of the food chain in cluster Bs. Actually, in most of any personality disorder, psychopaths are the top. They're the apex predators. Learning to recognize a psychopath will help you a lot in life, but also understanding how they think and how the way that they manipulate and control will also help you. There are lessons to be learned when dealing with any type of disorder. There really is, whether it's something that you've discovered about yourself or how you work within the world. Everything is knowledge, brothers and sisters. All of it is knowledge. And you can use it or you can be informed so that you can keep yourself away from it. See, Walton is just not in the West. Don't be naive. It's not just not that it's just not in the West. I am a Western man. So I'm not going to speak on the East. I'm not going to speak on the Far East. I'm not going to speak on the Middle East. You know what I mean? I'm speaking from my perspective. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But for me personally, I'm speaking from a North American centric perspective. I'm on the East Coast, North America. I don't travel through South America. I don't travel to Central America. Shit, I don't even know what them Canadians are doing. But I'll tell you what, being in the circles that I have dealt with some Canadians. And I'll tell you what, French Canada, there are definitely narcs up in French Canada. Absolutely. Around Ontario, there's a narcissistic plague going on there. I'll tell you that. A lot of the people that I have known from that area, I just cut out because they think they're better than everybody else, smarter than everybody else, better than everybody else. The person that tried to, the person who was editing my book who tried to steal my work was from Ontario, was from French Canadians. I don't fuck with that. Cosmically as well. I don't know about cosmically. We could talk to Immortal Coil about that. I'm sure he would say maybe the Greys, the reptilians, probably. Mike says, use that fact to your advantage and stare them down. Tell them you know who they really are. Yes, absolutely. And if you do that, understand when you call out narcs, expect the smear campaign, expect the flying monkey, expect them to start attacking you and coming after you. You have to understand and expect that. Being proactive is very important when dealing with narcissists. As soon as you know somebody's a narcissist, you automatically know what that playbook's going to be. You know, if you can avoid them, and avoiding them is not because they are stronger. These are weak people. These are weak people that are inside. Bring back dueling. But if you can just avoid that drama for your health. Angel says, being abused by a narc and thinking that it is love, that makes it hard to accept real and selfless love when it comes along. Yes. Yes. Let's bring that energy to this point. After you've gone through a relationship with someone like that, who tricks you into believing that they're a good person, who will lie, seamlessly lie, and abuse and manipulate you, it is so difficult to trust again. Like, you know, I joke a lot with people like Lizzie. I see in the chat, we're going to get you in a second, Lizzie, Jessica. You know, I'm talking to this one person. I'm going to be interviewing her at some point soon, but I'm not bringing her in for an interview until she's still trapped in the trauma cycle. And I'm not going to bring somebody on here that is still trapped in that cycle. You know, you've got to be on your way to healing before I talk to you or bring you here. Because when you're still trapped in that cycle, like when you still believe that that person is good in any way, shape, or form, then you don't love yourself. You're still accepting that that person has the ability to love. The damage that these types do to good, heartfelt people is immense. When I hear Lizzie, Jessica, anybody else out there talking about, I don't want to be with someone, I'll be straight up honest with y'all. Like, I don't date. I'm not looking to date. Like, you know what? Twice in the last week, I have tried to talk to a lady, like legit talk to a woman. Both times that they were married. God bless them. I'm glad they were married. You know, I'm glad they have a healthy relationship, especially post-narc abuse. One of them was you know, I met through our circles, but you've really got to, you have, first off, you got to learn to be comfortable with yourself, because you can't lean on that codependency, which is at least a weakness for me. I don't know if it's the truth for all of you. But you have to get that out of your system and understand who you are and love yourself before you can move on to another relationship, or you're going to be trapped into the same cycles unless you luck out and find somebody, you know. It's hard for me myself to believe in love, but I can't get on here like a bleeding heart. I can't get on here and say that, you know, all this, because I'm trying to lead by example and be that strength for you guys. But it is hard for me. It's hard for any of us to actually believe there's someone out there who's not going to screw you over at the first opportunity, who's not going to use you and then lie about you and smear you and destroy your name. How do you give over? How do you open yourself up and then allow the most intimate thoughts, your fears, the things that really create personal connection? How do you open yourself up to somebody else and do that when when you have been through a situation where someone's used that all against you? It comes down to healing. It comes down to really getting into that shadow work and that deep healing that has to be done. And discernment. And you also have to do this with the understanding that you may not see another hoovering hobgoblin coming. You may not. These narcs, some of these narcs the cerebral narcissists are better than the semantic narcissists. The malignant narcissists are worse than all of them. It's about taking chances and believing in yourself. That's why I say, brothers and sisters, when you get through, when you're healing, when you're going through this healing process and breaking the trauma bond, to work on you, work on who you are, because that's where the true strength comes from. It's not going to come from anybody else. And I love sister. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Mike Does says, essentially an alien bug narc will shiver in your presence because you are greater and they are lesser. Coil's talked about that a lot when he talked about his dealings with extraterrestrial beings. He's a contactee, for any of you that don't know. And he says that you have to enforce your will. I suppose when you're dealing with a narcissist, you got to impose your will, but understand that your strength is something that they both love and hate. They want to sap you of your strength, and they want to live off the drama they can create in that connection with you. So, but you know what, Mike? I would say just show your alpha balls. And ladies, y'all got balls. You wear them on your chest. You show your balls whenever you feel threatened, man. Really. And it's not a reaction, it's a response. Know who you are, know your worth, understand your strength. You ain't taking shit. We here at Dragonstorm, we teach the middle finger boundary. Fuck off. The art of fuck off. Love you. What's up, Pepper? It's not 50-50, it's bad everywhere. It is bad. And it's not that I don't think everyone is a narcissist. But narcissism, the narcissistic culture that is being pushed, that is being praised in the West, absolutely. Being narcissistic is prioritizing your ego over everyone else. It's prioritizing your need to create falsehoods, your selfishness over other people and other things. So anyone can show a narcissistic tendency. I certainly have. Going through what I have has helped me to recognize that and understand what I'm doing and how to stop it. It's a part of the healing process. My father taught me narcissistic rage. So, and I've always known my anger was a problem if I allow myself to get to like 9, the 9 on the 10 scale. If I let myself get anywhere near 9, I am prioritizing my own selfish worldview around it above anybody else. And so knowing that, I don't let myself hit 5. I don't even let myself get near it because I don't want to be like the people who hurt me. Don't want to do that. Good to see you, Lizzie. Good to see you, sweetheart. Mike says, love is identified and comfortable happiness that echoes throughout time. Absolutely. Self-love is not a bad thing. Love yourself and love yourself, but not at the expense of other people in any negative way. Let's see. Hold up. Fallon's texting me. That's the woman I'm going to have on here. Hold on. I'm going to send her a message right now. Fallon, I am live on Dragonstorm, and you need to hurry up and heal up because these people are looking forward to this interview with you. I'm actually live. They can hear me talking to you right now. So come over to Dragonstorm and come in the chat. All right, goddammit. Bye. We're going to be having an interview with Fallon. She is an actress. There's a movie coming out with Bella Thorne. She's in this movie with Bella Thorne. She's going to be, can't wait to see that. She's also a narc abuse survivor. She's kind of going through the end of it. There's still the hoovering happening and there's still things going on in her life. And she's also an entrepreneur, businesswoman. So I'm looking forward to presenting her story to you guys. And so you can see her. She's a beautiful woman, beautiful person, like all y'all ladies are. And my brothers, my strong brothers, I'm calling my brothers beautiful. No, but I mean, it's amazing how narcs pick out the best of us, don't they? Narcs pick out the strongest, the most wonderful, giving, empathetic, compassionate, beautiful people to destroy, don't they? It's horrible. What is up, Lady Virgo? Speaking of beauty, how are you, sweetheart? It is good to see you. Hail, sister. My fellow Earth element. We're about to go into Taurus season. That's my season. I'm ready for that. Let's see. Lizzie says they behave like animals. It's their survival. Well, yeah, they're animalistic. They live in fight or flight. They live in the trauma from their childhood, no matter what happened to them. And as we all know, I mean, most of us here, if you've been through it with a narcissist, it's because we've all kind of gone through traumatic experience, toxic experiences when we were young. Some of us made it through. Some of us turned into goblins, like narcissists. They turned into the hoovering hobgoblins. And those of us that didn't, it's weird because it's like we're the prey. We're the prey to these despicable people. That's why it is so important, Lizzie, to heal up, understand yourself, do the shadow work. We weren't like them in the first place. They tried to turn us into them, but we refused that. We want to be better people. And the truth hurts, but sometimes that pain leads to enlightenment. Mike does says the hunt started at birth. Take a number. Yeah. Well, yes, absolutely, Mike. We can get deep. That's kind of a spiritual savage topic, and we can get into that at some point. Lady Virgo says, I was just laying here reflecting upon how toxic my soon ex-husband is, along with his fake-ass mother who made him her golden boy. Yeah, well, I mean, narcissism is something that's passed on, isn't it? We see it, we hear a lot of times about how narcissistic men, their moms are their enablers. A lot of times with narcissistic men, it comes from mommy issues. I have daddy issues. Mommy gave me abandonment. Daddy is the one that kind of trained me. He wanted, I think he, unknowingly, to be as selfish and angry and childlike as he is. Love my dad, by the way. Dad, if you're watching, hi. I love you. But we're all good. We're all good now. We're all good in my family now. But it's the truth of the matter, and I've let them know. I've let both my parents know. I talk about this here. But when you have that type of a male, when you have a selfish male who is the golden child, who is enabled by a selfish, toxic mom, they're just passing on pain. It's the nature of NPD to pass on pain and trauma, to pass on that affliction. They need someone else. That's why they have flying monkeys. They need other people in their world co-signing to their bullshit. They need that. They need that reinforcement to their false ego, their false self, their fake ass. Girl, I can't wait. We are soon to be divorced. I can't wait till you're divorced, Lady Virgo. Hail to you. You are a survivor. You are a thriver. You are a leading by example. And I love you, sweetheart. I love you. Thank you for being here. All my Dragonstorm supporters out here, please smash the like button or the dislike if you are a hoovering hobgoblin hiding, and share out the link for me if you will. If I am who I surround myself with, I'm a nobody. Girl, the strongest of us don't need nobody. The strongest. I did that for a year. I wasn't streaming with anybody. I didn't have any guests on. I used to know a crazy amount of people on YouTube. I helped to build an indie sphere that has hundreds of people in it. People know who Steve Walton is over there. Whether you like me, you don't like me, you've heard, some lie about me, or you've seen me bug out, whatever the reason is, they know me. But I cut them all out. Immortal Coil was the first one I brought in because he's my soldier. Scotty, Sporky News Podcast. Guys, please support Sporky News Podcast. And as I bring him up, I must remind everyone that this program is supported and promoted by Scott's Meats. Scott's Meats, ladies, it is lean, mean, it is vasectomized and clean. So please go over to Sporky News Podcast and support my brother there. But I just brought him in. Next week, I'm going to have my friend Bear Nerd Fun come on. Bear is one of the first people that I started rocking with. And he's been one of my spiritual advisors. He's a West Coast Native American. He got half Celtic heritage, very Druidic. Can't wait to him. You are the strongest person, sister. You are strong as hell being on your own. And you ain't on your own, by the way. You ain't on your own. You're surrounded by Lady Virgo, by Lizzie. You're surrounded by a lot of different people up in here. Mike's up in here. We are Dragonstorm. Sergeant Pepper up in the house. You are not alone. You got all of us. We are Dragonstorm, not just me. I'm Lodonis Dragonstorm. This chat, this group, everybody here is tough as nails. So you're not alone, sweetheart. You're amongst great company here. Lizzie says, people get into a relationship, look at the other person and say, okay, make me happy. What is going on? Well, if you jump from bed to bed to bed, that is a problem. That is an abandonment and codependency issue. That makes you a weak person. Discern who you need to be with. Lizzie, you're beautiful. Lady Virgo, Angel, Pepper. Mike, you're sexy. I like my men. It's not a gay thing. It's just a personal thing. Man love isn't gay. No, all of you are beautiful people. All of you survivors, you strong, you with everything that you have been through, the inner work that you have done, the strength that you have had to surpass what you went through with a destructive, abusive goblin. Just use a little discernment, Lizzie. There is somebody out there for your beautiful self, just like there is for every one of us. And it's hard for me. Look, I'm not trying to be hypocritical or dogmatic. There are days like I've had the last couple of days where I'm just like, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. I want to be with somebody, but personal strength means more than anything else, sister. It means more than anything else. Let's see, Angel. Angel. I mean, you with us now. We together. We are together, Lady Virgo. Oh, nothing. I can't listen to that song. That was. No, this is all right. I'll tell this story. Nothing Else Matters was the song that I dedicated to from Metallica. My oldest baby mom, like my first deep love, the woman that I love, like, you know, she'll always be a part of my heart. And I couldn't listen to that song for the longest time because of everything. And then I gave that song, you know, I brought that song back to life, so to speak, with Narcissist. Fallon on it. Fallon. You know, I'm on live right now, and they can hear you.
They can?
Yes, they can hear you. Oh my God, you hear her, y'all? Listen. I'm on a live stream. You need to get in the chat. I'm out here telling Mike Does and Angel and Lizzie and Virgo and Sergeant Pepper how much I love them.
No, okay. How do I get on it? What do I do?
On YouTube. You're not even subscribed to my YouTube channel. You're going to be on here at some point. You ain't even subscribed.
Let me see. I'm driving.
Well, I mean, oh my God, you're driving? You can't. What are you doing on the phone? And
You're on speaker.
I'm in your lap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
Lodonis Dragonstorm. You know my name. What?
No, this is so embarrassing. I'm so bad. Hold on.
You in a movie. You're a movie star.
Okay,
Yeah. All right. Now we'll get in the chat. All right. I got to get back to being a YouTuber. That's what I do. I know.
Okay.
I will talk to you when I'm done. Okay. Everybody say hi to Fallon when she comes in. I gotta go, baby. Talk to you later. Bye. I'm sorry. Yes. Anyway, that song, no bueno anymore. Destroyed it twice. Let's see. Angel says, LV, I spent 98% of time alone. Good. I mean, you good. If you're comfortable alone, that's perfect. That's wonderful. But you need a little social interaction, Angel. You're too beautiful a person. Vicky, what you doing? You're too beautiful a person. Let me get out there. Let's say, Bulldog, the smartest person in the room is not a compliment. Lizzie, what are you doing? All right. Let's see. Immortal Coil is in the chat. What is up, Immortal Coil? Hail, brother. If you want to come on, throw me a link. I mean, I'll throw you a link. Throw me a text, actually, because I'm like a half hour behind. What is up? Jeff is in the chat, one of my brothers. Hail, brother. Good to see you, Jeff. Good. We needed some more testosterone in the chat. I'm glad that you're here. Special shout out to all of my men out there, standing out there, being examples, and let these ladies know that there are real alphas, there are real men out in the world. Special place in my heart. Man love isn't gay. What's up? Lizzie says, well, because he keeps talking to her again. Listen. It's day 18, Lizzie. It is day 18. I ain't talking no more. I'm leading by example. I'm showing y'all. It's day 18. I'm done. Ain't no more talking. I promise. Look, listen, Lizzie, let me tell you this, okay? Immortal Coil shames me all the time. He talks shit, okay? Immortal Coil shames me all the time about this, all right? Immortal Coil says, You've got to be about what you're talking. You have to lead by example, and you then actually lead by example. Actions, not words. Immortal Coil says that to me all the time. Trust me, Lizzie. He's in my ass. He's giving me the spiritual reach around every day. Mike says they are waiting their number, inmate number. I mean, I'm in jail. Sergeant Pepper. As soon as my ex-husband has two siblings. But he was her little child husband. Oh, the narc moms are disgusting, man. Narc mothers will train the boys to be like them. They can do no wrong. They can do anything that they want. They can destroy any life that they want. They're always the good one. But they will try to destroy their daughters. Narc moms don't like competition. They don't like another vag in the house. They will destroy that daughter. It's very weird. We were talking about the male and female Satan a few nights ago on Sage and the Savage. Narcissistic women have an overabundance of toxic, I won't say toxic masculinity, but toxic male energy. And that's why narcissistic men move like females. They have that female Satan. They've got that toxic woman energy. Did he text me? Hold on. Oh, Nathan. Can I get $5 or $10? Shit. Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. I gotta call Nathaniel. Oh my, dude, I'm streaming, bro. Y'all get to hear my whole family. All kinds of shit going on today. Oh my Lord. Come on. Answer the phone, Nathaniel. Oh my dear Lord. This is what happens when I stream on Rum. I'm sorry, guys. Answer the phone, Nathaniel Pendragon. Yo, you're on live because I'm live. What is going on? I sent you $20.
Oh, man. From your grandma more. We all good.
Okay, good. Good to hear. Tell my chat you love them.
Hell nah.
Oh, that is so messed up. These are abuse victims. What's wrong with you?
I'll talk to you. Love you.
Oh, yeah, love you too. Bye. He's a little asshole. All right. So, yeah, but they will, narcissistic men, that's why they have, I think they have mommy issues a lot of times. I know not all the time, but they are treated like little princes that can do no wrong and destroy anybody they want. And it's sad. And narcissistic women have daddy issues, and they have a lot of an overabundance of male energy like that, but the toxic end of male energy. And that's why they just try and destroy their daughters. I feel bad for Narcix's daughter. She's getting all kinds of effed up. Narcix's daughter is being drug out the house at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, while all that toxic shit, the fighting is going on over there. She's literally training her daughter to be worse than she is. I'm done. Okay, let's see. Continue on. Let's see if she actually said something. Hold on, I'll jump back. Oh, what's up, Illuminating? How you doing, man? Narcs are losing their grip on the world. They will, as long as we keep on. We keep the education on. As long as we break down the boundaries between different belief systems, which need to be, and understand we are all children of God. We are all children of Source, the Mother, the Goddess, whatever you look at it, however you look at it. Because those walls, those divisions are created by spiritual narcissists, by psychopaths. They're created in order to give the idea that we are different because we pray differently, and that's not the truth. It is so not the truth. Could you imagine I don't care if you have a Messiah, I don't care what type of Lord or lady you pray to, any of them, they have the same basic tenets: being good to one another, being understanding, compassionate to one another. Some of them have different philosophies, and as far as, fighting or being at peace, true that. But those walls created are to divide us as people. We should not feel divided. We should not at all. My brother over there who's an imam, my brother who is a priest, my brother who is a druid, we should all be on the same page when it comes to healing and love and compassion and charity and kindness and being good to each other. We should all be on the same page. If you're not on the same page, if your philosophy dictates, whether it is a religious, political, spiritual, if your philosophy dictates that you are better than somebody else because of your belief system, then you are narcissistic. You are about division. You are not about humanity. You are not about being a child of God. That's how I see it. We are in the age of Pisces. We are in the age of Pisces, two fish. That's why Christianity is dominant, because it's a religion that is of the age of Pisces, the two fish. Sergeant Pepper says, in the very beginning of healing, it was a rocky road, but you will smile again, I promise. There you go, sister. You will smile again. And on that note, I'm going to play this because I need to send some money. Hold on 1 second. Guys, please check this out for a moment and smile.
And the ape stood and became man.
Oh shit, I did it early. My bad.
And the ape stood and became man.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Fade in.
Vaginas in the rain.
Funny, she doesn't look Jewish.
I am McLovin.
What is he doing? Come on, man.
That's a big Twinkie.
Is this some kind of bust?
Well, it's very impressive, yes, but we need to ask you a few questions.
God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pad and pencil with you. You wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day.
Yeah, you fucking.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
Your bargaining posture is highly dubious.
You know what your problem is? You're putting the pussy on a pedestal.
That's the second time I've heard that. What is the pussy on a pedestal thing?
Shit. Yup.
Prepare ship for ludicrous speed.
Papyrus. Rolling papyrus.
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!
Thank you guys very much. I'm sorry I had to walk away for a second. Yes, smile again. It will happen. You will feel worth for yourself. You will feel good about who you are. And it's a process, y'all. It's a process of feeling better every day. Do things that make you feel productive. Do things that make you feel good. That take your mind away from the narcissist. That take your mind away from the person who is intentionally destroying you. All right? Because a person who is lying, gaslighting, cheating, manipulating, destroying your life does not love you. They don't love you. That's not love. They don't know what love is. Remember that every day. Keep it strong. Keep it pushing like my girl, Sergeant Pepper, hail sister. Lizzie says, oh yeah, we get to the point where you are the good person or you're not when you meet someone. The narcissist wants you to become like them. That's why your life falls apart. That's why you're drained of your financial, of your finances. That's why you're drained of, and you're stuck in this trauma with them. They want you to be like them. Narcissists want to pass on pain, pass on destruction, make you like them. They want you caught up in toxicity. And that's not who you are. That's not who we are. That's just not who we are, Lizzie. Hell, misery absolutely loves company, and that is why they do what they do. Let's see, real quick. I'm going to jump down, and I will come back up, I promise, because y'all are hitting it right now. I love to y'all. Let's see. There's Fallon. Hi. Hello, Fallon. Good to see you. Thank you for being in the chat. Yes, you're here. We're all happy to see you. We're going to have Fallon on here for an interview as soon as she is done with Narc X. You got to be done with Narc X and then come up on here and then give some inspirational talks about walking through the mud and destroying that connection and being a better version of yourself, because Fallon needs it, my brothers and sisters. She needs it. She is a good person. She is a heart, full of heart, an actress, an entrepreneur, a very driven woman who, like all of us, was brought down by a disgusting, deceitful, manipulative, awful, hoovering hobgoblin. We're going to have her on here. And thank you. Look at my Dragonstorm community out here saying hello to her. Thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate that. My love to y'all. Let's jump back up. And Coil, are you still out there? Coil, I'm going to throw you a link. I'll throw you a link here, buddy, so that you can come back on. But it's going to take me a minute to type it out because you're weird and you have to do it on your phone. And guys, please support Immortal Coil. All right, let's see. Where's that at? Support Immortal Coil because this man, for the love of God, subscribe to Immortal Coil. All right, he's giving away his plasma every other day. Okay, he needs the money. And that he's see the guy on the other side? That's Ryan Roger Athey. All right, check out his channel too. Ryan Roger's pretty cool. He's gonna look like Ryan Roger Athey one day. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. Gina Carano, of course, approves of this message. Let's see. Back to the chat. It is a spiritual battle, Lady Virgo. It absolutely is. The issues dealing with a narcissist. Like, you know, you're talking about people who have not healed themselves. They have not healed their childhood traumas. And because they have not healed their childhood traumas, they have decided instead to spread pain, to, you know, spread their misery and pain upon the world. If you do not, those of us who have been through childhood traumas or traumas in general, we choose at some point to heal ourselves. We don't want to pass on that pain. We want to release it. You want to talk to somebody who can help you, whether it's a life coach or a therapist. You want to talk to somebody who can help you. And that is the major difference between us and them. And on a spiritual level, that is like trying to heal us as a collective. You know, we're all children of Gaia. We're all children on the world. We're all sons and daughters of God, Source, the goddess, however it is that you look at it. You know, we are all part of the same family. And it is instinctual for us who have been through traumatic experiences, who have overcome them or are overcoming them or are facing them as they come, or as they come back up in our minds, to want to help someone who's been damaged. Narcissists, when they were victims at one point. And you want to lend that knowledge and experience, and you want to give them a stable foundation in order to help them heal, but they choose not to. And they choose to go into the lower vibrations. They choose to prioritize the lower chakras. They choose to be deceitful and destructive. There's nothing we can do for that. There's nothing we can do for them. You can only control yourself. When you're dealing with that type of destruction, let them self-destruct. I want to get back on camera. I'm smoking, y'all. I know it's a nasty habit. I'm smoking, but I don't want to smoke in front of you. So let's see. Lady Virgo says, these weak little demons are brutal on good people. They are, because they depend on going after your kindness, your compassion, your empathy, your the goodness in you. But the reason that they're able to continue to do it is because we, empaths or good, compassionate people, we have weak boundaries. Or we were taught in early childhood to accept codependency, to accept abuse as love. We were taught, we have abandonment triggers. Narcissists will play on these. That's what the love bomb phase is about. The love bomb phase is all about figuring out what it is in you that's damaged that they can exasperate or use to control and manipulate you. That's all that's about. That love bomb phase, you loving them and then making them feel good, is all about them. It's not a relationship that is good for both parties. It really isn't. I'm calling Immortal Coil right now. We are doing some phone calls on today. Coil, answer your phone. This is the Dragonstorm Love Line.
Yes, how may I help you?
Listen, hi, Immortal Coil. Would you come on here with me and talk?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a quiet place to get to. I'm still kind of outdoors and need to get somewhere where I'm not in the middle of fucking traffic.
I don't care if you're in the middle of Mac fucking Donald's at a playland. These people need you.
All right, I'll be there in like 2 minutes.
All right, bye.
All right, love you. Bye.
Love you too, man. Bye. He loves me, guys. Immortal Coil loves me. All right, that's man love, and man love isn't gay. I'm just saying. But you're right, it is a spiritual battle. One of the reasons why I like Immortal Coil being on with me is because he is very high resonance, very spiritually enlightened person. And I love having him with me to remind me not to be a piece of shit. Because if I lose my temper, I can be pretty fucked up. Okay, let's go down here. Okay, Liddy Virgo says, I literally went silent September 2023 with that demon. I don't speak to him at court neither. Good for you, Lady Virgo. She's out there. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, there is a YouTuber. There's a YouTuber out there, Roman. I don't have access to his link at the moment. Roman has been supporting me for a long time now. And I didn't understand, like a lot of people from my old indie sphere, Coil, I'll get to you in a second, brother. A lot of people from my old indie sphere have been reaching out to people like Tim's Talk, Maria T. and Tilly, who just hit 30,000 subscribers. Hail to Maria T. and Tilly. Guys, subscribe to Maria T. and Tilly. She's the granddaughter, and she looks like she's the granddaughter of the woman that played Lily Munster. And she looks like grandma. She's a beautiful woman. She's also a Buddhist priestess. So please check her out. She's someone who helped me out. But there's people that have come through that have helped me and talked to me over time that have gone through these narcissistic abuse cases. Anyway, Roman's one of them, and he is actually going through a court battle right now with a narc. So thank you very much. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce to y'all my my brother, Hail Immortal Coil. Oh my God.
Yes, sir. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, I absolutely am. Jesus Christ, it sounds fucking crazy out there. All right. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to use that term. I know it's blasphemous to you Christians. Sorry. I'm sorry. That was wrong of me. I do apologize. All right.
Well, sorry, I'm just sitting down in front of the train station, and Steven called and he was just like, hey, get the fuck on here. And I'm like, listen, I got traffic that I got to deal with. And, like, all right. So, give me a sec while this clears out and I'll be right back.
Dude. Yeah. I'm glad you're here. It's cool. Let's see. Lady Virgo says, I'm a child of God. Aren't we all? And I don't ever get on like people. I have friends, Mr. Tickletrunk, for instance, he's an atheist, and I don't be atheist. You know what I mean? The way that I look at spirituality is we incarnate for a reason. We incarnate in each life in order to learn specific things. And sometimes being an atheist, I would believe, is one of them, What's up, man? Disenchanted persons. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hail. Governments divide for power. They absolutely do. The quickest way to create control over a population is to divide them. This is the function of what certain religions do, or state governments. You see a lot of this coming from, in current day, the American political left, which has created this extremist division because they can't use the KKK anymore. They've created this extremist division that is separating people based, by projection, toxic projection, narcissistic projection, pointing the finger at certain segments of the population and saying you are evil because you have this skin tone or you have this sexual preference, while at the same time promoting racism and promoting gender dysphoria or gender confusion. And it's all about controlling people. And it's not about healing anyone. It's not about representation. It's about destroying people from within. Right, Immortal Coil?
Yeah. Sorry about all that, guys. Typically, I'm at home and I'm trying to do, the studio justice, but I'm actually out in the wild walking about, and I was just kind of like thumbing in the comment section, and Steven just had to call me up and say like, hey, motherfucker.
I'm forcing you. Get the fuck on.
There's some, So what's up?
Disenchanted Persons just said governments divide for power. We were talking about how institutions will divide people in order to maintain control.
Yeah. So number one, they recognize how powerful we are. Okay. We are a race that can truly achieve anything. And I don't care whether you're a Christian or not, read the fucking Bible. And it says at the Tower of Babel incident, we were approximating the gods. Okay. Now I interpret this as an allegory, but this is something that has been officially recognized by those in charge to the point where they felt the need to create nations. Excuse the bus, sorry about that. To create nations, to create divisions in language, divisions in politics, even divisions in races. Because we were all once like the same color, believe it or not. And we all were telepathic, believe it or not. And that was a problem. So yeah, they have to get in and introduce programs at the level of, and notice I said programs, at the level of government, at the level of religion, and at the level of economics. And those three things have successfully divided us for at least the last 8,000 years, to the point that we forgot all commonality. I was, did I do well?
You did well. I'm so proud of you, Coil. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, guys.
Angel says, God is everything to me. Bless, man. Amen. Yes. No matter how you see it, how you translate it, what it is to you in this life, in your experience, we are all children of God. We are all connected to Source. We are all part of that. And it is the powers that be, narcissistic personalities, most especially, who want to divide us and make us think that we are different. God is everything to me too, Angel. What about you, Coil?
Well, let's take this from the savage perspective, which if you guys enjoy this kind of talk, come and see us on a early Sunday morning if you're on the East Coast. We are all facets of the divine, of the prime creator, okay? And time, space, plus ego, plus physical biology are the main means of creating and maintaining the illusion. Because otherwise, like, it would be obvious. It would be like, oh, well, I know you. You know, I see you in the mirror every day. You know, how you been? Oh, I know how you've been because I know how I've been. You know, and there's no growth out of that process. And that's common enough amongst the various races of the universe, but particularly amongst Terran humans, because you see, so many of us have actually like mastered and came back and forgotten, and like that creative potential, like that displacement, is being used in a negative fashion by the powers that were in order to foment this identity crisis and crisis of being upon Earth. And imagine if that was taken into space, like the amount of destruction that could wreak upon the universe. That's why this time frame is so important. That's why we're the heralds of Aquarius, or whoever was saying that in the chat. And that's why we're the signposts of the way forward. You know, those of us on the panel, those of us in the chat,
Angel,
we're all symptoms of this.
Yeah, brother. I believe Angel's Catholic. I'm not entirely sure, but she says, Coil, she says, you may have come from a monkey, but I didn't.
Well, you might have designed the monkey. Who knows?
Lady right, Virgo says, me
let's
neither.
Turn the tables.
Jeff's in the chat. He says, there was something that put me onto narcissism, whether it was God or the universe. Whoever it was, I thank them every day. It was a sign that made me go no contact for the last 6 months. Congratulations, Jeff.
Hey, slow
congratulations.
Clap. Let's start that.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Right.
No, that is 6 months no contact. God bless you. I'm day 18, and it's got me going up and down, Coil. I was just talking. The stream today was about, was going through a little negativity over the last couple of days, but trying to keep my head up and trying to keep myself from falling back into depression. I mean, it's a little easier for me because, as we know, the routine as it sits, as it has been for the last several years, means that the attempt at contact from her won't be for another 5 weeks. So I feel safe at the moment.
Well, you have enough precognizance, and that's something that I thought was interesting about Jeff's comment, is that when you're receiving information from a intuitional level, it's quite different than when like your friends and your family are like, hey man, you're being a little sideways. Because one thing is perceived as like an external experience, like, okay, my friends want this for me and my family wants this for me, but my significant others telling me something else. So, you know, these are all things that I can take into consideration, but ultimately they don't know what's going on with me. Versus if you have an intuition, if you have a nightmare, if you have like a sudden understanding, it's more visceral because it's an internal experience. And I tell you what, once you've had an internal experience, external demonstration is no longer necessary.
Hell, brother. See, this is why I brought Coil on. This is the spiritual, my spiritual brother. Lizzie
Yes,
says,
sir.
Jeff 100, nothing but God showed me this. I lost a lot, but I know why I needed to. Yes, sister, because it is, look, God puts you through tests. We'll go spiritual now.
Let's do
God
it.
puts you through these tests in order to show you your own strength, what you need to learn, what you need to achieve. A narcissist, Immortal Coil spoke about this a lot, which is a narcissist does have a function in our lives.
Sure.
It is an opportunity to overcome and grow, learn about yourself, and understand your own self-worth.
Mm-hmm. And see, Lizzie, thank you for the comment. This is why we're coming to your town and sleeping on your couch and eating your food. Choo choo, baby. I love that.
Yeah.
You're right on board.
Right on board. Speaking of that, choo choo, we are coming through the Trainwreck Express. Our mission statement, two damaged fucks traveling the world, convincing you of your worth, teaching you the middle finger boundary, the art of savage spirituality. That is what we are about. Let's see. I did subscribe to his channel. Thank you, Lizzie. I mean, thank you, Sergeant Pepper. I greatly appreciate that. Please subscribe to our Immortal Coil Sporking News podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so important to support the people out there. For me personally, and I do consider it a personal favor from all of you to support those who stood by me as much as they could when they could while I was going through narcissistic abuse and dealt with all of the flying monkeys and all the smear campaigns and all the haters. And not just that, but also the people who saw how I was reacting to abuse and did not understand narcissistic abuse, and just saw the change in me and had to walk away, which I do understand, because as we stay with a narc, we trade energies with them. We become like them while we're trauma bonded. And so, my love to everyone who had been there throughout my life, and even those who had to walk away that do love me. I am very lucky in the last couple of weeks to have seen a return of my friends if they have seen the change in me. I'm so thankful for that.
Well, that's an interesting topic, Stephen, like energetic involvement, because there's very much different layers to that. It's kind of like you can watch a movie and get a charge for a few hours. You could read a book, and if you're reading a chapter book, you can get the charge for a couple weeks. But if you're physically intimate with somebody, that thing stays with you for about a month and a half at the least. And that also depends on your emotional involvement on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's often said you're the sum total of the 5 closest associates that you have. And I've even noticed this amongst you and myself, how like we haven't even met like person to person. I haven't had the pleasure of a Stephen hug,
You're gonna get it one day.
Oh yeah. Get us to 50,000 guys. We'll fucking broadcast the whole thing. It'll be a
we will
touching
broadcast that embrace. It will be a very loving man hug.
It'll be an after school special from the 80s. We'll make sure to have the graphics and everything there. Stephen will talk to me about drugs, and I'll talk to him about being a better father. It'll be like, a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have touching music, all that kind of stuff. Maybe Corey
touching.
Feldman will make a guest appearance, who knows? But
I'm going to have Corey's going to sit on my lap.
Yeah, totally. But even like the sense that the guys that you stream with and the people that you're on the phone with, even if you haven't like met them face to face, your energies will start to commingle. I've noticed like differences in my speech patterns. I don't know if Stephen has in his, but I can tell like in the behaviors, Stephen behaves differently than he used to. And, he knows how to puff himself up and all that kind of shit, but like his brain is in a completely different space. and especially to all the people who were like, you know, mutual friends at some point. You know, I wouldn't fuck with somebody that I didn't see had potential. And I would say that whatever negative attributes they ascribe to him, I would think my positive attributes would be more dominant in that whole thing. And I'm not saying that to cast any shadow, man. I'm just saying, like, we've both gained. It's like a mind meld, dude. You remember when Sarek and Picard like mind melded? They both got the best of each other. It's like that. But I also know all your dirty jokes at the same time. So
well, I'm glad you do, sir. We got a new face in the chat, Droopy. What's up, Droopy? I saw your comments earlier. I just didn't have a chance to point you out. Thank you so much for being here, Droopy Dog. He says 2 choices: pass the trauma or become more empathetic. Passing on that trauma is just, you know, doing evil. It's passing on evil to somebody else. It's like, well, somebody hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you even worse. And I'm not even going to say that I'm, you know, innocent of this. I have done this in my past. Absolutely. It's one of the many things that I have been able to learn about myself that has helped me to stop doing toxic behavior, performing toxic behaviors, and become a better person. Becoming more empathetic, yes, but I think to yourself, because those of us who go through narcissistic abuse need to learn to have stronger boundaries.
Sure.
You see a red flag, you have to recognize that. You have to protect yourself. I don't want to see, I've seen some people protect themselves to the point after going through this where they become, they build walls around them that no one can get through. And you should be able to discern who deserves your time and attention, who deserves your empathy and your compassion, because we're all beautiful people inside, which is what was used against us.
Well, at the primal level, there's a movie from the 90s, Stephen. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Dazed and Confused, where that's sort of like, listen, when I was a freshman, I got my ass handed to me by seniors. And now that I'm a senior, you have Ben Affleck. He was like, he had that paddle that said, fuck you. He's like, oh, I'm after your ass, you fucking freshman fucks. But that represents one end of the spectrum. And then like you had the other one, like on the girls' side, where they dragged all those freshman chicks through the car wash, which, you know, when I was a teenager and I saw that, I was kind of like, all right, you know, all right. But then at the end of that, there were those couple cool kids who just kind of like did it, and the seniors showed up and they were like, listen, you know, I know this was like BS, but you kind of passed the hazing. So yeah, there's that component of it. But in the sense of like familial or, you know, other types of abuse, you have to look that demon square in the face and say, you don't have power over me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take the Nightmare on Elm Street, the very first Nightmare on Elm Street, and that is how you look at those people. You turn your back, you have no power over me, and you remove their power.
There you go. Or that show, Supernatural, that yellow demon guy was like chasing that family the whole time. And it took the whole family standing together to send the guy back to hell.
Yeah, there you go. Lady Virgo says, I genuinely gave a shit about him. But once I turned off my empathy for someone, I'm done. It took a lot. That is having a strong boundary. Where you have to discern who deserves your attention and who doesn't. And it's the hardest thing, Lady Virgo, to when you love someone so deeply, you know, when you're giving yourself over, destroying yourself, just when you're overcoming your logic and reason for compassion and belief in another. And it drags you in, that trauma bond. It drags you in and holds you like an anchor. In order for you to overcome it is such a feat of strength. And I mean, I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so happy for you. You give me strength by your story, by your testimony, your truth. That gives me strength, and I'm so thankful for you. But she says it perfectly. Once you turn off your empathy from someone, that's it. It's over.
Yeah, it's like a ball faucet valve. You know, and that there spurned several thoughts for me. Is like, number one, you loved all you could. from the position that you were at, and that's not wrong. But the other person involved did not have the same capacity to love at the same level that you do. And in that sense, again, you're not wrong. That's just the difference in evolutionary emotional intelligence between you and that person. Hang on, Stephen. Hang on a sec.
Oh, no problem at all. So while you are listening, I just want, okay, we'll talk to Jeff for a second because Jessica came into the chat. There was something that, already did that. I'm sorry, Jeff, we already covered that one. Love you, brother. Let's see.
Give me a few minutes. I got to move, Stephen.
Oh, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. We'll go back to Jessica. Jessica, stay with us, baby. We're going to get with you in a minute. You and Immortal Coil have that thing. So I want to make sure that he sees you. Good to see you, sweethearts. Let's see. Thank you to everybody who's being here. Please smash the like button or the dislike if you're a flying monkey or a hater. Greatly appreciate you. Share out a link if you would. Thank you very much. Everyone's talking to Jessica. Jessica, I hope you're doing all right, Jessica. She says she still needs crutches. I guess she had surgery. She can only walk with crutches. Jessica says my surgery was about 6 weeks ago, so it's finally starting to recover. Good for you, sweetheart. Good for you. It is so difficult, I would imagine, keeping up with your schooling, doing, working on yourself, as and also healing from something like that. So much strength in you, Jessica. I love that. I love you so much, baby. Thank you so much. She said it was broken last month before March. Oh, man. I see. My hand's messed up, Jessica. I know it's not the same, but I got bit by a narcissist, and now it's starting to heal. So I'm feeling better. Anyway, Immortal Coil, Jessica, your girl's in the chat.
Oh, there she is.
There she is. She just had surgery about 6 weeks ago, and she's still using crutches, but she's recovering from her injury to her foot.
Well, we'll be sending healing energy to you, babes. Stay strong. I know you're also like an intellectual, but realize like the power of the mind. Psychosomatism has been proven by science. Now, can I tell you a story real fast, Stephen?
1 second before you do, Angel head out. She goes, she got to slide out for now. Jessica, take care of yourself and see you all again soon. Vicky, my love to you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for all your messages and all your support. I hope I caught you. Take care, baby. Go right ahead, man.
All right. The reason I had to put you on mute for a sec was because a cop walked up to me and told me to take a fucking hike. Like I was sitting around too long, and I looked too hobo-ish, and he's just like, look, are you waiting for a bus or something? And I was like, no, I'm talking to my people. And he's like, yeah,
love your liberal towns, man.
So I was just kind of like, listen, I'll move on. It's not a big deal. And I was just like, hey, Steven, can you handle the chat for a sec?
That's a damn shame. So because I'm from liberal Philadelphia, I understand. It's nuts. The conservative spots, I'm not trying to take sides. I'm center left. By the way, politically, I'm center left. But the liberal towns, man, they're the first ones to start harassing you. Those cops.
Well, and listen, I'm not like I don't look huggy and squishy and friendly, and it's not like I also look like I'm gonna stab you and take your money, but it's I look enough like one and not enough like the other that I have to ask to be moved on by the authorities.
Yeah, so, you've got to move on. Go to a tent city. What's wrong with you?
I know, right? Where's your needles? What's going on? All right. Yeah.
Jessica
So I
also says,
yeah, go ahead.
Jessica also said, I literally ghosted him when he tried to love bomb me for a second time. Good for you. Jessica's a strong woman, man.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't taking it. She wasn't taking the second Hoover. Good for you. You ladies give me strength. Because I was a loyal fool for 3 effing years. Over 3 years I was a loyal fool. And I'm not stupid. I mean, I was stupid then, but I mean, I'm not like I don't think I'm an unintelligent person. I'm not the smartest. I'm not the dumbest. I'm happy in the gray area in the middle, wherever that may be. But it did get to a point where I understood the schedule. There is a schedule, and when NarcSist came back at Christmas, I was like, okay, I know this is part of the schedule. You need Christmas money. You need me to give you whatever it is he's not giving you. And then you're going to ghost me at Christmas, and you're going to ghost me for New Year's, because that was when you originally openly cheated on me and made me suicidal. So you're going to reestablish that trauma. Like, I understood the routine. And then when it came back, you know, around before her birthday, you know, like, I understand the routine. I understand the schedule. But for years, even though I understood it, I didn't break the trauma bond. When she would talk to me, when she would text, when she would come, because she always came to me. One of the things, Coil, that gets me is that, you know, and I'm sure you've heard this because it's, you know, it's been out there on the smear streams, is that it's always the story that I would chase her. But she was the one who drove down to Florida. She was the one who came over here. Right. She was the one who came to my house. I'm not seeking her out. I didn't go to her job. I didn't stalk her. I didn't go to her house. Person B did that all the time. Person B. And you know what's crazy to me, Coil? And I am talking a little shit today, and I don't give a damn. What's crazy to me is that when she was here last time, the last couple times, she would talk about her job when she was working at a convenience store, having to use makeup to cover up her black eyes that he would give her. You know, and I think it was, maybe you can tell me, is it a part of the trauma to tell me these stories about this guy, which I believe at this point, because I saw him do what he did to her. Is it part of the trauma to run back to someone like that over me because he was abusive? Like,
oh yeah. Well, she lacks emotional depth herself, so she's torn between a man who is intensely emotional and a man who is vacant of emotion.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if vacant of emotion is proper, because person B is a grown toddler. Like, he was over emotional, explosively emotional, bullshittingly emotional. Like, very, like you would expect a feminist to act, like an activist blocking the highway.
So explosively, like righteously emotional. Is that what you mean?
Righteously, yeah, like nothing was their fault. You see, it's like, okay, did you see the video of the protester in Portland who was holding on to a rebar and was yelled? The cops were the people that were there were saying, let go of the bar. Yeah. They were very calm. Meanwhile, the protester was like, stop prying my hand away. You're cutting my hand. You're cutting
hurting me. Yeah,
you're hurting me. Right.
Yeah.
And there's video footage. There's video footage of nobody touching this guy's hand. Nobody's touching it. And that's a narcissist. That is a narcissist holding on for dear life, proclaiming that he's being hurt, that he's being tortured by these cops, when he is completely different to what actual reality is. Like, that is what I saw. That's what person B is like. That's what he's like.
Well, and to me, and maybe I said the wrong words, but you guys represent differences in emotional extremes for your narc, right? So she oscillates between the two because, number one, she can't create it for herself, but number two, she thrives off of the direct conflict that exists between the two of you, because she's expecting both of you. Yeah, she's expecting both of you to stag off and, like, okay, it's autumn. The female wants to fuck. Like, which buck is going to win the head contest?
Yeah, and it's crazy. And it's, for me, like, I don't play the games. I don't play the games. But he plays the games.
That. Yeah.
No, I'm just not doing it. Well, it's what it is, man.
Let me say this: there have been instances in my younger years where I was completely taken in by the rose-colored glasses, and I wanted something so bad that I was willing to overlook things. And when I overlooked things and it had progressed past intimacy and towards what's the next step, I got let down and I got my heart broken and all that kind of shit. But that actually enabled me to recognize those kind of traits in others, so that if I was dealing with something else or someone else, I wouldn't be taken in, and I would firmly affirm my boundaries. No one deserves to be walked over, Steven. You know that.
No. And you know what? Jeff put out a comment, like the magic that it is, for what you just said. Jeff says, my empathy and patience ran out, got sick of the self-pity and victimhood. Yeah, brother. Yes. Yeah. I mean, Coil was just speaking to that, you know? Lady Virgo says, love the train. Well, choo-choo.
You will.
You will. Choo-choo coming through, Lady Virgo. And we're going international. 50K, we're going national. 100K, we're going international. So all my international audience, get ready, because the train wreck express is coming through, and we're going to convince you of your worth.
We already got a Euro base like Square Central, so there you go.
Mm-hmm. Jessica is talking about her healing. She said she takes 2 tablets of vitamin D because the sun up here is not very strong compared to California. Oh, you're up I think Jessica just let it be known. I think she's up in the Northwest, bro.
If you're Seattle adjacent, that would be quite interesting.
Yeah, look, I'm telling you, Coil's looking. Jessica, don't tease him. He's got a brain and an astral peen out of this world. Don't tease him. Don't tease him, honey. Let's see. Lady Virgo says they absolutely know our power. That's why they propagate fear. Yes. People who are controlling, who are damaged and fearful inside, that's why they project lies and illusion, because they don't have an authentic self. They don't have a true self. It is broken. It is fractured. It is destroyed. And so they must create illusions. Narcissists create illusions around people. And like I said, a narcissist's power is only dictated by how many people will believe the lie. In much the same way of politics or religion, people who are narcissistic in those spaces, the lie is only as powerful as those they can convince to keep repeating that, keep repeating their lies. Or believe in them.
Right. There's a really good 1960s Star Trek about that. It's called Who Mourns for Adonis, and it's about it's about the gods, and they thrive off of people's belief in them. And every god that was failed to be believed in eventually faded and died. You know, and they didn't have good special effects back then. You didn't see like Odin sparkle across the sea like in the Marvel movies, but first Zeus went, and then Hera and Aphrodite and Ares, and at the end Apollo was the only one that was left, and he tried to reestablish his kingdom, and he failed, and you know what? He succumbed.
Do you also remember the other fantastic thing that happened in that episode of Trek TOS?
Talk about it, bro.
The very first interracial kiss on TV took place on that episode.
Ooh, that's true.
Nichelle Nichols, if there was ever a black woman to get that, it should have been Nichelle. Hell, sister.
Tell me, she was fucking smoking hot.
Smoking hot, dude. Nichelle Nichols is a hot.
Man.
Oh, my Lord. Yes.
I would have totally had Oreo babies with her.
I'm Macalato all day, bro.
We here on the Savage Show do not, we don't discriminate.
No, we absolutely, we don't discriminate. We love them all. We love all the races. All love you. We love you. Jessica says they create divisions even in the races, because why else do African immigrants and Black Americans hate each other? Well, if I may, from the outside looking in on this one, how do I put this? So you have descendants of African slaves, some of whom, not all, because there were free blacks that were in America before the Civil War. Don't let that fool you. Different states had different policies, yet there was a generalized racism about them. When it's like this. It's almost like this, Jessica. When it comes to America, you have people from the South, the South America, Middle Central America, who come here and work as hard as the first immigrants who came, the first European immigrants. You have European immigrants who come here, Middle Eastern immigrants, Asian immigrants who come to this country, and they understand the opportunities available and work very hard to achieve what they can. African immigrants are the same way. when Africans come here, this is just my own understanding. So if I'm wrong about this, if there's anybody in here that can correct me, please do. They come and they understand the opportunities available in the United States, and they work very hard for it. Meanwhile, people who have been here, whether you are from European descent, whatever type of descent, but speaking in the interest of like Black Americans. So Black Americans were actually pushed very hard, like you're talking about, like post-Civil War. They took those opportunities when they were available, when freedom came, especially in the southern country, in the southern states. You look at events like Black Wall Street, where you had an entire black city that was so powerful. They were about to create their own currency. They had their own economy. And what happened? Well, your Democratic KKK came through and burned the city to the ground. So don't fall for that lie that the party switched. The party's never switched. And I'm speaking as a person who voted Democrat most of their life. But when it gets to the 1970s, 1980s, what happened was the civil rights leaders were taken out. The ones that were actually pushing for, Black ownership, because they had come from Black culture. Your Martin Luther King Jr.'s, your Malcolm X's, they were about strong Black community. And when the tables were kind of twisted, when civil rights was twisted through the Democratic Party, they started pushing out this idea that being, a single mom was a great thing, that being a welfare queen was a big thing. And weak minds give in to that. And I'm pointing the finger. I'm only talking about Black Americans. But this has happened all around. There's a lot of white trash out there too. And they became dependent upon, the government, living off of the government, that communist idea. So when you have Africans who come here and you have a political system, the left political system that pushes dependency, that pushes these awful destructive ideas onto the Black population. Thank God for all my strong Black families out there who don't fall for this shit. Then they see this and they realize that, or they feel that Blacks to have been here generationally, who call themselves African Americans, they're not Africans. They're not they don't understand the plights that Africans come from. A lot of African countries, you have tribalism. You have people like straight up genocides happening. I knew a woman who was a teacher in Washington. Her and her brother came to this country. Their entire family was slaughtered. Entire family dead, slaughtered. And only her and her brother survived out of all the siblings and the moms and the dads and all the cousins. And they immediately took advantage of all of the opportunities that America gives. Gives to immigrants or anyone. And so they worked hard and they pushed hard. So from my mind, from my perspective, that when African immigrants come to the country and they see African Americans, so to speak, who have been here generationally, who continue to live an existence of not fulfilling their full potential, then they see that and they understand where they came from and the opportunities that are not being taken by Black Americans, and they get upset. They see the contradiction, and that's a part of the lies that have been fed to us by our federal government. The federal government has too much power, way too much power, but the lies that are propagated by far leftists to hold society down. That division is intentional. It is absolutely intentional. In much in the same way that your far rights, your actual far right people, will create divisions by propagating the idea that, only people that come from certain European areas are better than everyone else, which is fucking hogwash. Is hogwash. We all came from Africa at some point back in the day. We were all Black. It's again, but I see what you're saying. It is by the narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths that run the system, that understand that division creates control, because while we're fighting each other because we pray differently or we look differently or we come from a different culture or speak a different language, they're getting all the money. They're getting all the power, and they're peddling kids. So I went on a high horse about that, and I didn't mean to. And if I'm wrong about any of that, like if we have anybody in the audience who's comes from Black culture or African culture and has a different insight, please let me know, because I always look for checks and balances when it comes to my own logic. This is just the way that I see things. Coil, do you have any statements on that?
Yeah, I'd like to slightly reframe the perspective, if you will.
Brother. Absolutely.
The emphasis has been towards division to make us separate human family than we actually are. One of the most unique things about the American founding documents is in the phraseology. Now, I'm not saying it hasn't always been practiced this way, but if you look at it, it says that every soul...
Coil, I'm going to go get a drink. Give me 1 minute. Keep talking, all right?
Yeah. Every soul is possessed of inalienable human rights, which amongst those are pursuit of happiness and freedom. And if you look at the Constitution, expression, and apologize for the traffic around me, but Stephen called me out while I'm out in the wild. The country was founded on freedom of opportunity, and it was not exclusionary of any one race or creed or color or nationality, anything like that. We're actually a melding pot of the finest of every one of Earth's races, which is why, excuse the race car, which is why America rose to preeminence after the, during and after the event of World War II. Apologize for the train. Again, I'm in a urban setting right now. But what's important is that this is a country that, no matter how fucked up you judged it to be, we are still the bastions of freedom in the world. Okay? Nobody is more free than we are. And all the misandry and misogyny and, unfair practices and blah, 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 those are all symptoms that you are living in a first world country. And not only that, the preeminent amongst the first world country. So, my Dragonstorm compatriots,
brother,
I ask you, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to live in a shit-ass country and have to claw your way up to freedom? Or do you prefer to live in a free country and unfuck the bad ideas that the media, the religion, the government promulgate? I think you know the answer to that, or else you wouldn't be listening to a broadcast like this.
Yeah, hail to that. Jessica said also certain groups of Africans hate each other. Well, I mean, tribalism is a thing. Tribalism is a thing, and it's a part of human nature. It's some people. I've heard some people go like, one day we're gonna get over hating each other, depending on where you come from. Nationalism.
Black people weren't the only ones with tribes, man. Celts had tribes.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, Asians had tribes. Natives had tribes. Gotcha. Keep going.
But when it comes to the main topic of this channel, you look at the empath tribe and the narcissist tribe, right?
There you go. Let's talk about energy.
I'll bring it right back. Right. So the two polar opposites, two differences between these two types. You have one that is selfless, like the Jedi, and you have one that is selfish, like the Sith. And so, yeah, I'm going there, Coil.
Let's do it. We still need to watch those movies.
We are. We're going to review the Star Wars movies, actually, guys, and we're going to look at them from the perspective of Jedi and Sith, empath and narcissist. But we look at, you look at the culture that narcissists create, which is lies, illusion, passion, unbridled selfishness. the using force and intimidation and fear in order to inflict pain and control. And then you look at the Jedi, who are selfless and go to war when they have to. They know how to fight. Empaths know how to fight, but we choose not to fight if we can. We choose to be compassionate, understanding, listen to a person's other side. These two polar opposites really do, they are in complete contradiction. One of the reasons why we as empathetic people get caught up with narcissists is because we are constantly trying to understand, help, heal, and fix a person who refuses to be fixed. And so that is, those two different tribes are in complete opposition. There's no bridge there. There is no bridge between people who are kind, giving, charitable, and those who are selfish, destructive, and hateful, and fearful. There is no bridge.
And I like that you brought it up in these terms, because there's also that sense where you have to know when to fight, but you also know how to fight and when to apply, and also how to apply force. Just because you can kill somebody doesn't mean you should. It just means that you need to exhibit enough strength to end the situation, and then you should be able to walk away. And it's the same thing. There's not much difference between physical kung fu and mental kung fu. And any kung fu teacher worth their salt would teach that philosophical component of it, so that you understand that you're not just a hammer. You can tap a nail, you can hammer a nail, whatever. But the choice is yours, and the situation dictates the choice. And it's up to your teacher to show you how to perceive that. And I'm sorry, there's wind and traffic all around, man.
You're fine, dude. People are loving you right now. Actually, we got a couple of things that are directed towards you. I want to go through that. First off, Illuminating Manuscript says we are very much a species with amnesia.
Love the avatar, love the name. Correct. There's been a very specific attempt throughout at least the late 8,000 years to ensure that is a fact, because if we can forget about the time that the golden age, the same thing that the ancient Greeks and the ancient Egyptians and the even more ancient Sumerians, the Chaldeans, as the Bible calls them, then we are at the mercy of those who are recalling our history on pain of the benefit of themselves. And that removes responsibility for us to have to tell ourselves who we are and where we came from, because we can just go and work in the fields. We can go and have our oxen pull the plow, so to speak, pay our taxes, behave, marry, register with the state, all that kind of stuff. But is that really honoring and servicing ourselves? And does that recall our glory as spiritual beings? You're an interesting account, sir. You should talk to us.
Coil, when you get home, let me know, because we might stream again. All right. I'm in the mood tonight. Next, Sergeant Pepper says, at Immortal Coil, I viewed a video that you and Lodo did. It included, among other things, a talk about auras and energy. It was very interesting because I'm into those things as well. Let's do a stream later and talk about this.
Well, yeah. And I know it's like a kind of cooch to do this, but when we say things like, hey, like and subscribe and drop a comment and let us know what you want to see on your blah, blah, blah. Like, you guys just kind of consider that like a, like the end of the Looney Tunes song where it's like, da 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 da. Like you're just used to hearing that, but like, this is what we need in order to determine what's relevant for our content. Because I could sit here and talk about Star Wars, and like a certain amount of people will be like, yeah, Star Wars, and I can be like, yeah, my dick, and then like people will be like, yeah, your dick, but then other people might be like, yeah, talk about UFOs, and like we need to be able to gauge these things, So yeah, leave us a comment and drop a like, and please tell us in the description in the comment section, what you want us to cover on future editions of our show, because we take those things to heart. Sergeant Pepper, you have a grand haircut and you seem like a deep person.
She's
so
the hair of Dragonstorm right there.
Yeah. So I mean, I would trust someone like you to throw out show topics. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that later, Steve.
Absolutely. Coil, are you going to be home in a couple hours?
Yeah.
You want to do a stream?
Let's do a stream, man. I was literally just gonna swing through a store and grab some dinner components, and then
Sergeant Pepper, I believe you're overseas, so I don't know if it's going to be too late for you. What time are you thinking? How long?
I could do 6-9 if you could.
6-9 will probably be too late for her, but
what do you want to do? 5-8? 5:30, 8:30.
We can do 5:30, 8:30. Sergeant Pepper, if it's too late for you, it'll probably she's like 5 hours ahead. But catch us on the replay, because we're going to talk about that we will talk about that topic.
Sure. Take notes, Steven. Like we should get to all this. Yeah.
Absolutely. Lady Virgo says he goes to me anyways. He is busy with his coworker. But as you know, Lady Virgo, you're dealing with a narcissist. They're always interested in you. They don't like losing control of their object. So that narcissist is absolutely watching what you do. They're absolutely hoovering like he's a hobgoblin. Can't let you go. He's going to be very stalkish. If he's not getting, and maybe she's pegging him in the ass. You know how narc dudes like it. They like it in the ass. I mean, maybe she's serving it to him, and he'll be too busy to ghost shit. Jeff says, we gave it our all, but it was never good enough, and they just wanted to take and take. And that's what they do. Narcissistic people do not want to produce on their own. Some do. Let me rephrase. There are some that are productive, that are creative, that do create, but they are doing so to facilitate their ability to influence and control. We see this a lot in the top 13 families, the Illuminati. We see this in how they control our mainstream media and our politicians and the media that we consume, our social media, our TVs and our television and movies. They use these things to influence and control us. But they want to take either your freedom, your soul. Somatic narcissists want to absolutely take control of you emotionally. Cerebral narcissists will do this in any way, shape, or form that they can. Lady Virgo says, yes, Jeff, because they drain our life force energy. They're true vampires. They absolutely are. They are energy vampires. Druid is up in the house. What is up, Druid? My Christian brother from across the sea. Good to see you. And I had forgotten Druid. I had actually forgotten this. But there were Druids in the past who converted to Christianity and continued the teachings of Jesus through the perspective of that Celtic lens, which is pretty cool. So
did that get absorbed as well?
It did get absorbed. Oh yeah. Well,
I'm curious about that.
Yes. But see, the thing about Druidism, ancient Druidism, is that it was patriarchal, just like Dryads were matriarchal. So when the Romans, the pagan Romans, weren't able to take over Britannia because of the fierceness of, the fierceness of belief, the Celtic belief system, and the Dryad, Druid, Lord-Lady relationship. But the Christian Romans were able to make inroads because they were a patriarchal, one God, monotheistic belief system. So they were, as Catholics did, they absorbed, the cultures around them, which is why we have Santa Claus, who was Krampus. It's why we have Christmas and why we have those things. Right. One of the things that they did was they kind of absorbed the pagan, the pagan Druids, which was almost an easy translation because the Druids were patriarchal. So their worship of the sun god then became their worship of the son of God. And so, yes, they were, and the last king to be given a gift from a druid was in the 1200s. And the reason for that was in part because of the assimilation of druidic belief system into Christianity, into Catholicism. So,
well, and yes, this can almost be like a historical stream, dude, because like I want to know about the effect of the Normandy invasion in 1066 upon the druid culture and blah blah blah. And,
we could do that. Oh, I love druid culture.
At some point.
But I get how do I put this?
Well, it's personal because you were there. I get it.
I'm a pagan lad, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
When I look at it, it is hard for me at sometimes to separate my ego from appreciating history for what it is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so, especially when it comes to like Christian topics, because a lot of my ancestors, a lot of their belief systems were kind of molded into Christianity.
Not only your physical ancestors, but your metaphysical ancestors.
And
your previous identities, because I know that you have lived through that. Yeah,
I have. Yes, absolutely, I have. But I have to remember that that's a continuation. You know, there's a beautiful continuation, regardless of how it happened. There is this beautiful continuation, and so that's part of it, though. Like I have to recognize that. So I love my boy. When Druid first popped up, I was like, "Oh, Druid, you're a pagan." When he first started popping up, and then we started talking and communicating, and I really realized he's a Christian. He's a son of Christ, or follower of Christ. And so I was like, it took me a minute to knee jerk that, but there is this beautiful expression that comes from the assimilation of Druid culture into Christianity. So I recognize that, and I love that, and I'm thankful for it. And Druid's one of my oldest supporters. And I'm sorry I went on a tangent about that for a minute, guys. My bad.
But close to the chest. Listen.
Yeah.
The audience got to know you a little bit better. And
Hopefully nobody unsubscribed. You know what I'm really happy about? And I'll be honest, God, I'm sorry. We're after the 2-hour mark. We're going to Dragonstorm OverTime. What I'm really happy about was that when I started coming out of the broom closet, a lot of people didn't, there was only like a handful of people that left the channel. It wasn't like overwhelming. So I am so glad that narcissistic abuse awareness and recovery is something that bridges all of our cultures and belief systems. We're all looking out for each other. You know, like that is so beautiful. I love the Dragonstorm community. I love you guys. It means a lot to me. Hail to you, Druid. I don't know why MC Mike does. MC Mike doesn't talk about tits now. I don't understand what's going on, Mike. Listen. Don't get us going in that direction. Lizzie says Louisiana they too busy pocketing the money to help the poor. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. One of Louisiana, from what I understand historically, was one of the safe havens for interracial relationships, interracial communities for the longest time. Like it was one of the open sources for people understanding one another, because it's French. It's French America, you know, at its base.
There's a lot of mixture there. I lived there for a number of years, man.
Did you? You lived in Louisiana?
Yeah, dude. From from 3rd grade to 5th grade, and from let's say junior year to.
You can't take Lizzie from me. I don't care if you got Creole blood. I don't care if you got Creole experience. You're not taking Lizzie from me.
All right, Steven, you can have her first.
Lizzie's mine. All right, have her first. No, I ain't giving Lizzie up. I get Lizzie. I'm hanging on to Lizzie. She's mine.
You're claiming boundaries. Okay.
Oh, I'm definitely claiming boundaries.
All I'm saying is that Louisiana is the only state in the union that operates on parishes as opposed to counties. And you can look that up in political maps.
What is the difference between a parish and a county?
One is religious, the other is political. Really? So, yeah. I went to elementary school in Rapides Parish, and I went to high school in Caddo Parish.
Be damned, I'm learning things today.
Yeah.
Lizzie,
It's
don't go to
educational.
Coil. Don't go to Coil. Stay earthly with Drag. Stay with Lodo. All right.
All right. All right.
Lizzie said she's actually traumatized to him, and you're the safe spot. But when she calms her nerves, she runs back. Yes. 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 And right now, the excuse, Lizzie, is when he was kicking her ass, he was beating sense into her. I'm done with that. You know what? He can keep beating sense into you. He can keep kicking your ass and beating sense. You go. That's what you choose. That's what you get. I'm done. Jeff says 100% Lizzie. When they have problems, they run to us because we are the security blanket. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, look, she up in here. Wanted to stream from right here in this chair, talking about I miss my mom. And what I realized was I was the mom. I was the comfort. I'm the one who like accepts and comforts and is not like abusive. But she loves dad. She got daddy issues. She wants to run back to dad. The guy who talks down to her and treats her like shit, beats the crap out of her and controls her. That's what she wants. That she can have. Jessica says, sorry, go ahead.
Well, two ideas, man. And I'm not saying that Jeff is this way. I'm just saying, like, for the dynamic that he's presenting, this is the kind of guy that gets put in the friend zone. And this is the kind of guy that's a useful fool. Okay. So if you're the guy that she comes and listen, not the ladies in this program who are listening. I'm talking about like the narcissist, toxic women.
Right.
The guys that they come and cry to about their Chad, Antoine, big dick boyfriends are not the same guys that they go and talk to about the problems and the emotions and the things and the this and the that, because they will go to one and feel satiated and then go to the other and get dick down. And then they will bear children and try to convince you to raise them. And that's just from the male perspective. Again, nobody female listening to this does that. That's just what happens to men on the other end of the chain.
Shit, hold on. I'm live. What's going on? What? All right. You want me to call
Adonis,
you?
your pizza's at the door. You owe us $25.79.
I don't know. I don't know exactly how long I'm live. I'm talking with Coil. What do you need? Do you need me to talk to you soon? Oh, okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon. All right, buddy? All right. All right. Will do, Dan. Love you. All right, bye. It's been a phone call stream. That's like the third phone call. So,
hey, you're blowing up.
Well, my son and I are starting our company tomorrow. We are. Oh my God, I gotta. Hello?
Hi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, bitch.
They hung up.
All right. Yeah.
It was a 302. Guys, I was actually hoping that was NarcX from another number.
How you doing?
You're early. Shouldn't you be harassing me in about 5 weeks? Did he beat the shit out of you again?
Look, listen, you got some balls. All right. Let's talk to the chat.
I would have let her talk. I would have let her talk too, bro. I'd have broke no contact for that one. I just let her talk to y'all.
Well, seriously.
All right. I'm sorry. So Jessica says she is so drawn to drama and extremely polar emotions that she literally needs to make two people triangulated between you and the narc. Yes. Yes. And I'm done with it. I'm removing myself. What I have learned, Jessica, is that when I remove my energy from that situation, then the triangulation goes in another direction with people he triangulates. And they create havoc with each other. They create drama with each other. Listen, she came over here and told me about this black dude that she was banging when she was working at a convenience store down there. And then when I was actually trying to talk to him, I said, yo, she's banging this black dude. You know what he said? He said, no, he knows my family. He wouldn't do that, bro. That's not him.
And then guess what she did? Yeah.
Guess what she was doing? Who she was banging? Right. She was banging this fucking dude.
All right.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. I'm done.
Anyway.
Let's see. Running to your house with a bucket of anxiety and a narc in tow, yo. But I whipped his ass. Let's see. Colby's in the house. What's up, Colby Breeze in the house? The woman narc in my building tried to triangulate me and induced fear in me about a smoke smell that I didn't experience. I looked for her as if she's crazy in the head. And I just smiled. Listen, narc women are the worst. I mean, I don't know. We're all terrible. But Flyer, that's crazy. So that narcissist just came through and just started lying and making up stories to try and get you involved in some trauma. Listen, narcissists are illusionists. They're all liars. They're all about creating a false facade in a false world. And they want everybody to believe in their falsehoods, bro. It's all an illusionist trick. We're going to end this here soon. Actually, I'm going to get down. Roxy's in the house. Roxy said Black Americans used to live as Americans. The culture, values, and someone worked that to change. Yes. When you had, when we had Black Americans on the Supreme Court in the 1880s, right? So, you know, like the chance for success was there. That was a Republican sitting judge, by the way. And I'm not touting Republicans. I'm just saying the history is what the history is, you know? When it came to any type of advancement for Black America, there were people on both sides that didn't want that to happen. Absolutely. Republican, Democrat. And also remember that at the time, there were not just two parties. There were several parties. All right. Roosevelt tried to run for president again. Not the one that died, the other one. Tried to run for president again under the Bull Moose Party. There were other parties that existed during these times. And as a matter of fact, what we know as the Democrat and Republicans were at one time the Democratic Republican Party. So that was a party that separated into two. And look, and who do we have? What two major parties do we have in the United States now? Well, the two halves of that same party. Two sides of the same coin. Anyway, but you're right. Whenever Black Americans started making inroads, no matter what it was, culturally, financially, systematically, they were torn down. They were broken up. Unfortunately, Black Americans have been used for over a century as pawns on a board. A lot of the early movements, pre-civil rights and civil rights, understood that. We saw the culmination of true unity after the 9/11 attacks. 9/11 was an inside job. We saw the culmination of true unity after 9/11, which was instantly brought up, created division again through the Obama administration's second term with the advocation of Black Lives Matter, which was a completely unnecessary group. The national group is completely unnecessary. The local Black Lives Matter, which was started, was about Black neighborhoods, Blacks policing their own neighborhoods, which is actually a healthy fucking thing, and was absconded by communists and politicians like the word woke in order to create division. So I'm getting all kinds of author Stephen Walton today. I'm losing all kinds of people right now. But
maybe that's a sign of focus for your volume 2.
Yes, well, I mean, it should be, right? But yeah, there's always been a segregation created by those who didn't want to see Black Americans succeed. And then they have unfortunately been used as pawns in this game for way too long.
May I offer?
Please see the Gospel According to Mark with a C YouTube channel. Please look for Abu Nas. Please check out Demogeny. Please check out Fatal J. Please check out Lord Callus, because those brothers are woke in the real fucking term of woke. Please check them out.
Yes.
Yeah. Hail the Dark Council.
And may I float this idea forward? As much as racial differentiation has been fomented in the public eyeball, who does that serve? Who does that benefit? If
Those who
I'm
want to
going,
keep us segregated, those who want to keep us divided.
that's right. If I'm going against you because you look different than I do, then who wins? You know, and how long does this conflict get drawn out? Because, you know, men want to stand on our backs. And I'm not saying men as like a male race. I'm saying like Illuminati. How better to say it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got Jeff out here shooting you out. Lizzie's out here loving you. Let's see. My man, Illuminating
Love you
Manuscripts, 100, loving you. Got a lot of people out here loving
Love
you
you
right
too,
now.
sir. Subscribe.
Yeah,
Listen, give me over 600. I need about 1,000 hours to get monetized. And then after that, you won't be able to shut me up.
yeah, don't shut him up. Immortal Coil knows what he's talking about, guys. Mike does says they want you to play the I am stupid game. Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
that's so beautiful.
Lizzie says colonizers. Yep. And the thing is that, okay, and that is true, Lizzie, when it comes to, oh, fuck it, I'll get on screen. And that is true when it comes to the expansionism of the West out into certain areas of the world. Absolutely. The problem is that hasn't been happening for a long time. And the idea of colonizers has been used as an excuse for politicians to create division, for extremists to create, to finger point and create dispersions and gaslight. But the genesis of what you are saying, absolutely, and I agree with. I do agree with. I mean, to an extent, the country that I live in, yes, came from colonizers. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can really say. I'm center left, Lizzie. So, like, I'm a '90s liberal. I understand what you're saying, but I also see how the far left, the progressives, have absconded modern liberalism to the point where, listen, if y'all can put any kind of preconceptions down that you may have, look at modern Republican philosophy, modern conservatism. They're actually classical liberalism at this point. And it's insane to believe. It's insane to see. But that is the truth. Modern conservatives are classic liberals.
Well, and may I offer this? The result of the influence of America in the Western Hemisphere over the past 200 years, and I'm not saying American culture in the past 20 years, I'm saying the amassed result of American culture. What happened after World War I? What happened after World War II? What happened as a result of our Constitution? What happened as a result of our Declaration of Independence? What happened as a result of the influence of those two documents from the Magna Carta? Those things have gone on to change the entire shape of the world for the benefit of Terran human society. And these are ideas that did not exist before the previous 200 years. No, the previous 8,000 years before it. And this is just like 200 years. And from those 200 years, look at this. We've gone from sailing ships to crude submarines to nuclear submarines to Navy vessels to interstellar ships to lasers and photonics and radionics. And, you know, listen, the ideals of freedom lead to greater expanse than the ideals of victimhood. So I'm not saying that you haven't been hurt, that you haven't been pressed down at some point in your time, but I'm saying you can take that experience, spin it around, turn it into a healing experience and catapult the world into the next stratosphere. And if you doubt me, just watch.
Lizzie says, we are the most freest country, but we fight most about race. And it's disgusting that we do that. That is a tool by the elite to keep us feeling divided. The town I'm in right now, Colwyn, when I was growing up, was a little white pocket in the middle of white flight during the 80s, through Darby, which is the only township next to us. We're surrounded by a river that the only way we can go, if we went across the river, would be South Philadelphia and Sharon Hill. And when I was growing up, there was you would see all kinds of racist shit happen in this town. Like they're literally chasing black kids out of this town. Literally closed down the swim club because somebody from Darby brought up as a guest a black kid in. All right, so racism definitely a thing. This town is now mostly black. In this town, just as fine as it was. Just as fine. My neighbors, wonderful neighbors.
Yeah.
It is not about race. It is about a culture. It is about people.
Well, yeah, Stephen, don't you agree it comes down to an individual choice? Like, listen, I can see you as a black man, and you can see me as a white man. But, like, if we just see each other as men, can't we reach some accord?
When it comes down to it, right. But I also don't believe in taking away someone's right to be proud of their heritage and where they come from.
I didn't say it came at the expense of that, but it's more like, have you seen Josie Wales where he rides up to 10 bears and he's like, listen, I'm going to live on your land.
Josie Wales.
You're going to live Wales. And we're going to like slice her fucking hand and we're just going to like, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bear, the antelope will live here, the Comanche, and so will we. And you can come down here and respect us, and we'll come up there and respect you. I mean, that's what I think it should come to, honestly.
Absolutely.
Like if it's a meeting of the eyes and it's like an agreement of the soul, then there's nothing that we shouldn't be able to accomplish.
Listen,
but all this paper and ties and, you know, suits.
I want your help on something, Coil. Right? In my science fiction series, guys, I don't know. I believe I've taken it down off the internet, but I'm going to be putting it back out. I have this sci-fi series I'm going to write after I get done Volume 2, Phantom Menace Volume 2. Okay. But part of it deals with alternate history.
Oh.
The alternate history is the expansion, the Western expansion was stopped by my enemies, heroes, whatever you want to call them, the elementals. And they actually stop it. So you have like the Sioux Nation and the Comanche Nation, and you have those nations that still exist today in modern America. I want your help with that. Yeah, dude.
Let's talk about that offline.
Yeah, we'll talk about that offline. Jessica says they literally go out of their way to corrupt and ruin the youth. Black girls twerking started a trend of that existing in mainstream. Yeah, and right now, listen. But it's not just that. It's also creating the narcissistic culture that we're dealing with in the Western society right now. Speaking from a Western man, they want to corrupt the genders, confuse the genders, and then also perpetuate the idea that if you are a certain color or you come from a certain background, that you are the stereotypical racist or Easterphobe projection, you know? Like when a chick twerking, I don't give a shit if a chick is twerking. You know what I mean? I don't care. But it's not, but they vilify that act and they then perpetuate the idea that this is an entire culture when it is simply a subculture. It is not the overall culture. And present that unfairly by gaslighting the entire country into believing that, which then fuels racism. It is a manipulation tactic that those of us who have been through narcissistic abuse should be able to see easily. And this is why you have the Illuminati running most major media. This is why, like, all the media at this point, you should know, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, all of them, they're all running the same script. All of them are running the same script. And it is to gaslight certain segments of the population, to revitalize racism, its and phobes. This is why we have, this is why we have the gender confusion that we have right now. Taking young people, targeting the youth of our society, and when they are already confused, finding themselves, and taking someone who may be bisexual, might be exploring bisexuality, and then conflating that into gender dysphoria, creating a bigger issue out of something that should be personal and contained and remain a young person finding themselves. It's all wrapped up into dividing us, making us confused, and also introducing issues to a easily influenced part of our populace that will later become something that is unchangeable and destructive. All right. First off, look, giving kids hormone shots is child abuse. You know, these things, the things that should be kept in the adult realm should be kept in the adult realm. That's why we have 18, 21. That's why we have these boundaries as to when you can choose for yourself what avenue you wish to explore in order to find your own happiness. If you go after the younger population, go after the schools. It used to be just in the colleges, but now they're going after high schools and middle schools and elementary schools in order to conflate or introduce adult topics that are completely confusing to that age of growth, while trying to cut out parents from being able to parent their own children, in order to create issues, traumas in these young people that will be exasperated as they grow into themselves. Could you imagine giving a child below the age of 9, I mean, let alone below the age of 18, but below the age of 9, hormone therapy? They are creating an entire generation of confused, depressed children that will raise suicide rates. Guarantee you it's already happening, raising suicide rates among young people who are impressionable, who are depending upon parents, who are depending upon adults and educators in order to help them guide through the confusion of adolescence. And they are taking these young people and using this confusion in order to create traumas. We are in a narcissistic West, y'all. It is so very important to limit the control factor and limit the abilities of public education systems, politicians, and local governments from influencing your children in ways that should be left in the adult realm.
Well said, sir. It's also one of those things, if you're to introduce a societal standard, in which way would you seek to do it? And it is through the realms of the mainstream hip culture. And maybe I sound fucking old when I say hip, you know?
You're such a square.
I know, you know, but it's also one of those things, like I have a kid that I stuck out there and I chose to put her into a specific lane of education because I thought that the main means of distributing self-identity was incorrect. Okay. These people have no business dictating to my daughter what her identity should be. That should be up to her. And if she has questions about that, she should consult her parents or a trusted, and I say trusted, teacher. You know, and I would even go so far as to say that that's a
I lost your Coil.
I know there was a huge motorboat, like small dickhead guy going by.
Hold on, a motorboat? Like
yeah,
motorboat?
Yeah, well, you know, more the tiny dick guy. But the essence of the message that we wanted her to get like a traditional education, which means you're going to count from 1 to 9. You're going to want to know what 1 plus whatever through 9 equals whatever. And you're going to want to know what 1 times 12 on the multiplication scale equals whatever. So you have that in your brain and you know how to divide that in the opposite way. You know, whereas these other school systems, they want you to take like 15 extra steps to arrive at the same answer to the problem. And listen, if that's where you're sending your kid and you're cool with that, then that's okay. I'm not saying that you're bad or you're a wrong parent. I'm just saying I'm sending my daughter somewhere else. Okay.
Dig that.
I hope that's
Dig
understood. But when it comes down to the point where legislation is trying to mandate and dictate that things should be a certain way, then you know what? That's where we might have a problem. And that's where parents may begin to assert themselves in the opposite direction. That could be a show in itself, sir.
That's show in and of itself. We went Dragonstorm OverTime. We went savage. I started out with trauma bonding. And
I know.
Breaking
and then
let's actually. I am. This is a very odd situation here because I am getting drunk. So we're going to end. No, don't drink. We're going to end this now, and then we're going to have it on the live stream later. Are we doing it on your channel? Or are we doing it on our channel or this channel?
Let's do an emergency session. Yeah,
we'll do an emergency session. All right, we'll do an emergency session. Guys, we're going to live stream in a couple hours. Be on the lookout for that. And this weekend on The Sage and the Savage, we are going to be covering The Little Shaman. A lot of people have been asking about us to look at that. We're going to be looking at it every week on Sunday. We're going to be covering a different narc abuse channel every week. Sam Vaknin, thank God for him, man. He shouted us out. I had more poll on. I have people coming to see this channel from Facebook that I'd ever had before. Thank you.
It's
to Sam
his
Vaknin.
birthday on Sunday, dude. Let's shout him out.
We're going to shout him out and say happy birthday to Sam because Sam helped, he brought some subscribers and attention to this channel, and I greatly appreciate
he's the OGN, man.
We are going to talk about The Little Shaman this weekend. But please check out, do your outro, bro. Do your outro.
You are listening to Immortal Coil. And shit. Man, you got me on the spot. Okay. Hail all my fucking savages. You are listening to Immortal Coil. You can catch me on Sunday with Stephen Walton. West Coast, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 a.m. East Coast. And you just might learn something.
That's right.
If you're over in Europe, it's probably around 9 a.m., 8 a.m. But yeah, come around. We talk about Art Bell kind of shit. We talk about Jedi Council kind of shit. Steven has his own kind of niche right here, but if you listen to the kind of thing that I, sling for my slang and you dig it, then you desire some more, come check me out on that channel. I need some more watch hours. I need some more subs. And you would benefit from both. All right.
See, Immortal Coil is a dom. He needs more subs. So if you're into that thing, please go sub over to Immortal Coil. Check out Savage Spirituality this Saturday, 11 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. We have a lot of fun over there. You know, we're joking, talking about spiritual topics, talking about energies, talking about aliens, and we have a great time doing that. Also, check out Sporking News Podcast earlier on Saturday. It starts at 8:30 p.m. And you might see us over at Snow Dub Music and Entertainment, the Cotton Connection, at 10:30 on his channel. We greatly appreciate you. Please remember to support your independent creators out there, because a help, a like, a share of an independent comic creator or a channel could mean the difference between a make it or break it. It really does mean a lot to independent people. And if you have a voice and you want it heard, create your own channel, especially for my narc abuse survivors out there. This is why this channel exists, because I went through that hell and I said, I'm going to talk about this. This channel started out originally as a tarot channel for me and NarcX, and then it became me defending my name, and now it has become what it is now. And I'm so grateful for my Dragonstorm community, for everybody who's subscribes, supports, throws out links for my channel. We're on the road to 20K. We passed 10. So if you could share out a link to this channel, put it in your support groups, I'd greatly appreciate that with your favorite video. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to Jessica out there hanging out. Thank you so much, Jess, to Jeff, Illuminating Manuscripts, Lizzie, MC Mike Does, Roxy. I want to say thank you to everybody else that came through earlier when we were still talking about narcissistic abuse stuff.
Shit.
Like Sergeant Pepper. I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to Droopy, first time in the chat coming by. Thank you to Colorby Flyer. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you to Druid, my brother, coming through. Much love you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Lady Virgo being in the chat. Always, all my ladies, all my wonderful women out here, my fellow survivors and thrivers from narcissistic abuse. Thank you so much. Thank you to Angel while she was here. Much love, Vicky. Good to see you, and thank you for all the texts that you throw me and all the words of inspirations that you give my way. Thank you to Fallon for stopping through at some point. That was good to see you, Fallon. Thank you, baby girl. Thank you to, wait, where's Disenchanted? Disenchanted was up in here, and I missed it. He was somewhere. Disenchanted for coming through. Where are you at? There you are. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Disenchanted Persons, for being here. Every single one of you. You guys keep me going. You guys keep me pushing. It is because of your strength. It is because of what you go through, your testimonies, helping each other out in this community. The Dragonstorm community is so strong only because you have been here. Oh, I have only gotten as far as I have because of you. And lending your strength to another abuse survivor is leading by example. It is the most beautiful expression of your strength, your experience, your testimony, your truth that we could possibly have. And it keeps me going and keeps me full of love and keeps me pushing and keeps me wanting to do what I do. So please help share out the link to this channel, because the train wreck express is coming through. Choo choo, baby. And once we get to 50K, we're going to start traveling the country, talking to y'all, sleeping on your couch, eating your food, and telling you all of your work. we are going to be filling souls and stuffing holes. Much love to y'all. I am Lodonis Ravenwolf Dragonstorm, your seer and sage. Hail to all my fellow survivors and thrivers from narcissistic abuse. Remember to be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and never again suffer that fool. Love yourself. I'm serious though, man. Wash your hands, wash your ass. It's very important. Listen, narcissists do not wash their hands and wash their ass. It is so very important. I don't understand what's wrong. You understand. You gotta understand. Wash your hands and wash your ass. All right. Coil says wash your hands, wash your ass. That's what he means. He's wash them. Wash them. All right. But wash your nuts. That means wash your nuts too. I don't care if you get with somebody. Just you don't want to be a narcissist, okay? So wash your ass.